Get your quarters out. Welcome to Side Quest Arcade. I'm your host, Madman Matt. With me are my compadres, my friends, my homies, the squad. Flint, aka Micromanity.
How's it going, lads?
Brian, aka Happiness.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
And the moment you've all been waiting for. Ooh, the big shot in the locker. Number 99. Front forward, high center, Rodney for three. Silent reveries, Bryce.
Yo! Did I cut out? Do you guys hear me? Did I cut out?
Oh, shit. How you doing, man? It's been a while.
Get your quarters out!
Get your quarters out. We're at the arcade, boy.
You're
all
right.
Get on the stick.
Get your quarters out.
You listened to the last episode. He said this.
Now you're
I think it's just because I'm
week
looking
to
at
shit
him
talk
do
Matt.
it right now. I'm
Dude,
just looking at him do it right now. Get your quarters out!
I gave you Rodney for three, and that's
That
how
was
you
good.
treat me?
That was good. I didn't
Come on,
expect that one.
I'm
I
just
like that
saying.
one. It almost
Still
stopped
give
me
it
from
10.
talking shit. But
We
there was a
already
lot of shit
killed him
talking
with the
last
meme.
episode.
I was about to say, I wasn't even on the episode where you told the Rodney for three story. All right, like that's.
All right.
I'm
I
a
wasn't
fan-
on that
I'm a
episode.
fan
I told everybody
first.
my favorite moment.
Oh, that's true. I'm a fan first and a creator second.
All right.
Wait, what is your favorite moment then, Bryce?
So I mean, Matt told it.
Absolutely.
Matt, that was it.
Nailed it. He knows you well.
Send it.
He's deep in the lore.
That was deep. I forgot all about that. Matt was fucking deep with that one.
That was a deep
I
three.
dug deep, man. I dug deep.
You know, a couple
Matt
moments
for
it's hard for
three.
me to remember last weekend. So going back multiple episodes, it's
Yeah. You want me to be like real talk with you? I don't remember what I said.
all right. We'll just leave it there.
All right.
This is the last
That's
episode.
it. Hey, I'll have to go back. I'll have to check the tapes.
That's it.
It's nice. It's nice to have the four of us on. It's nice. It's been a while. It feels like a while.
It's actually only been like 2 weeks.
I know, but it
Well,
feels
that is-
like longer.
Like I said, 2 weeks IRL is like 5 years gamer time.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
story. Like, hey, are you alive or are you dead, dude? I've been gone 1 weekend. All right?
Yeah.
Where have you been? I was about.
I just
fucking
logged
pull
off.
an Amber Alert on you.
Exactly.
I haven't seen you forever. I was asleep. Like, it was just one night, dude.
Yeah.
There's just got some ice cream on it.
XCOM.
Nothing in my world exists except XCOM right now, I swear to God.
Well, why don't we talk about that? How have your XCOM games be going? Smooth segue, by the way.
That was good.
Actually, I only got to play like
Going.
3 hours since the last time we recorded.
You guys ever seen? Sorry to cut you off already with your story. You guys ever seen Home Improvement?
Absolutely, dude.
Totally.
You know Wilson? Is that
Tim
the dude
Allen,
Wilson?
man? Absolutely.
Wilson?
Dude, that's what Brian looks like when he talks into his mic. But all you can see is his eyeball peeking over his little box. Hey guys. Hey.
You've been gone 1 week. Coming swinging with the dinosaurs meme,
Jesus.
and you come and swinging with the fucking Home Improvement meme. Oh my god.
Bryce DLC downloaded complete. Like,
All right. Brian,
Oh.
XCOM.
let's
Oh,
hear
shit.
it, buddy.
Oh, Dave, Brian's better.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
I'm sorry, Brian.
Oh, shit.
Sorry. I didn't mean it.
It's just
all
too
prank.
hot, man.
It's all prank,
Distracted.
dude.
The meme was
I
too
don't think-
hot. All right, I gotta give you credit for that.
Meme's
Now I'm
pretty
like
hot.
all
Your face is-
self-conscious that I'm trying not to get too close to it. And it's gonna sound echoey as shit. I can hear
you just
it
gotta
echoing in
own
my
it.
ears. I can only imagine what the mic's picking up.
You
So,
just gotta
That
own
sounds
it.
good to me, man.
You know, it always sounds fine in Discord. Then I'm gonna get it in Audacity and just pulling my fucking hair out. You know.
True.
But this week has been. I'm trying to remember the whole week. So we recorded like Saturday to Thursday, so it's a bit of a short week this week. So we, of course, recorded Saturday. Sunday, I didn't even put pants on. Like, it was a pajamas XCOM 2, like, all day kind of day. Yeah, I ate like a bagel, and that was like all I ate for like 10 hours.
You want to say that again for us, buddy?
No,
Yeah, what?
no, I'm good.
What did you eat?
I ate
Did you have hot sauce on that bagel?
No, actually, that was a thing that happened like 2 weeks ago. I decided to try hot sauce on my breakfast
Yams.
there. I'm trying to
On
think of another
your
word for
breakfast
it.
circle with a hole in it.
Yeah, my breakfast circle with a hole in it. That one.
What are those called again? Maybe
What
we
are
need a
those
more
called?
efficient name for these.
There probably is, but
Yeah. Wheat.
And so
That
then-
wheat circle.
after I tried it, I was like, my first 2 bites, I was like, this is fucking stupid and weird. But then once I kind of got past, I think I was using poor hot sauce for it, but once I got past the tanginess of the hot sauce, I realized I liked the spice with it, so I just bought jalapeno cream cheese instead, and I like it better than with the hot sauce.
Oh, there you go.
Jalapeno cream
But
cheese.
the hot sauce not bad though, right?
No, it wasn't bad. It was
You
not
get
bad.
you get some good hot sauce on there, maybe. It's a different
I'll
experience.
try it
That's
again
all
with
I'm
some
saying.
different hot sauce, I think, but not with the current hot sauce that I
Oh
use.
shit. Didn't know you had to fucking experiment. Go to the lab with this shit.
Hot sauce
It's
I
not,
use was
I
too
already
tangy.
been to the lab. I'm out here telling you it's the optimal play, and you guys are
Busting out
fucking,
this.
like,
Yo, put your fucking phone away. I see you. Put that shit away. I see you.
oh shit! This is an assault.
This is an assault.
Breakfast.
Can't get
donut.
away with
I
it
love
now.
it,
We can
Kyle.
fucking see each other.
I know, shit. I can't fuck off the whole time.
I
Do
know, I
other
know.
shit. The wife texts me. So I gotta,
Oh yeah, understandable. Understandable.
Understandable.
It's-
And then Monday, of course, was editing, and then I tried to make the intro. I wasn't super happy with last week's. Like, I think it was okay for a one-off, but I'll have to think of something better for like a permanent intro. But then because I stayed up so late making that intro, and then fucking like welcome to Canada, where in the winter you have 18 months of darkness or 18 hours of darkness, and in the summer you have 18 hours of light.
Yeah.
And fucking doesn't matter that I went to bed at 12:30. I woke up at like 5:30, and I'm somebody that needs like 8 hours sleep every night. So, and even though like I could sleep for another 2 hours, my cat was like, "You're awake. It's time to fucking eat. Like, you are not going back to sleep. I am going to paw you in the face until you get out of bed." So I was fucking zombie. Like I had a fucking overtired headache. I could not function at all. When I came home, I told my wife, I was like, I'm too tired to even socialize. And I came upstairs and I was like, I'm not going to bed at like 5:30 because it's just going to fuck my next day. I need to stay up till at least like 10 o'clock. So I played some Paladins with KRT Dude and his friend.
It's Kurt, dude. It's Kurt, dude.
Is it really?
It's Kurt, dude.
Is that what he
It's Kurt,
says to
dude.
pronounce?
Kurt.
Why don't you
It's
just
Just
put
like
like
it's
a vowel
just like
in
it's
that
Steve
shit?
Boy, not STE Boy.
Yeah.
Why don't you make it more obvious to
Fucking
pronounce?
dumb
Kurt,
free
dude?
letter names.
It's not
Put a
optimal.
vowel.
Well, especially because it's like Kurt, like capital KRT.
Yeah.
dude.
Here,
That's
where's
like-
the fucking U at if you want to be called Kurt, dude?
A U, an
Anyway.
I, an E. We would all pronounce it correctly with a fucking vowel.
What's this
dude.
fucking Wheel of Fortune?
Now, do I gotta buy one?
He
Fuck,
can't
I'm like-
afford the vowel.
please.
You need a microtransaction for that vowel.
Oh, we'll get to microtransactions.
We'll get to that.
But so yeah,
$4.99.
played that. Zombie as fuck. I was just like,
Uh-oh.
shoot, I don't know. And then I played some XCOM yesterday. That was pretty good.
Nice.
That was pretty good. Played like 3
So-
hours.
So basically, you just played XCOM. There's a bunch of shit in the middle. I'm not gonna tell you about the XCOM games itself. Just I played it.
I mean,
How'd it go?
what more is
Great
there to
story.
tell aside
What
from-
is
story.
XCOM? What is XCOM? I got
Yeah.
no idea.
So
I just know
XCOM
I'm in your campaign.
is a
dude. That's all.
top-down strategy game. I guess, yeah, if we're a general podcast, we should explain what they are. It's
So
a
it's like
top-down
old
strategy game.
school Grand Theft Auto.
Well, it's not like old Grand Theft Auto was
turn-based.
turn-based. It's turn-based. So I don't think it makes a difference to you to say it's like old Final Fantasy Tactics in a way.
It's like Pokemon.
Nothing like
Okay.
Pokemon. But it's
You go, then
top-down,
I go.
turn-based.
Shit, get roasted.
Oh, shit, I was there, then I was gone.
But basically, you have your squad of soldiers, and like
All right.
aliens are trying to invade Earth, but they're not just like coming out in full-scale war all the time. There's a bit of like political stuff. XCOM 2, the developers actually said that in XCOM 1, only like 20% or something like that, 15 or 20% of people that bought the game actually beat the campaign. And so by their standards, that means that the player lost in the first game. So in the second game, it's canon that the aliens won the war of XCOM 1. And so now the aliens are like living on the planet and they're basically ruling it. But for the most part, they're pretending to be like benefactors to Earth, and they've got all these like gene therapy clinics and all this other shit. But realistically, they're just testing on people. And you're playing the resistance that's kind of trying to take them down. So you're spending a whole lot of time like trying to gain resistance factions to help you out. Meanwhile, you're leveling up your soldiers, and you have like an army of them. Like, even though a mission will take 6 people, if your person even takes a single point of damage, they might be out of combat for like 14 game days. And so then you end up with like an army of like 20 people in the game. And so yeah, then I started naming all the characters after you guys. But yeah, it's class based. You kind of turn based strategy. So you kind of like run your guy over to like cover, and then maybe it'll be their turn, and then they can like move around, and you'll try to like move around and flank them and then shoot them. There's a couple of games like it. I think the new BattleTech game is a similar concept of that turn-based top-down. I just find it a ton of fun. But I know I put like a bunch of work into like making everybody a special class. So I was like, Matt was my sniper, and I went down like the sniper tree. Bryce and Flint both ended up being the same class of like grenaders.
Who's better at it?
Oh, Flint was way better at it.
Fuck yeah! There you got shit on Bryce.
I took Bryce down the heavy
I like
weapons
that
tree.
Transaction.
I'll let you have that one.
I put Bryce down the heavy weapons tree, and the heavy weapons tree sucks, which I forgot. And then I put Flint down the demolition expert tree, which is way better. And also, Bryce's character, I think, has the worst hit rate of all the fucking soldiers I have in my army. Like, none of them. You can never land a fucking shot, dude. It's kind of insane.
It's like Bacchus.
But Matt turned out to be
going.
my best sniper until about halfway through, and then he became my worst sniper. He started off strong, Matt.
What can I say?
Then I don't take you on any missions anymore.
That's all right.
He was an early game soldier. And he dropped off in late game, right?
I retired. I did
Aiden
my part.
surpassed you as top sniper.
Well, he has, years to grow. He's only 12.
He's got those young 12-year-old eyes, so he can see farther.
That's right. I'm
That's
losing
what
my
it is,
vision.
Yeah.
You get him young. That's how it is.
All right. You played XCOM. You explained it a little bit. Bryce, we haven't seen you. What's up? How are your games this week, if you even played any? How was Moving Simulator 2018? How's that?
I was
The new
saving your
game?
marriage simulator 2018.
She probably would have been all right if I didn't come. I just thought it was like a nice thing. 'Cause, like, she had already been down there for a couple weeks, so I was like, I'll surprise her. Go down. So that was it was fun. Pretty much went out, watched the Bruins game one night, watched Celtics game the other night, watched the Bruins game again another night. Fucking Bruins suck balls. Bad.
Let's get shit on. That's all I can say.
That's hold
Get
that
shit
out.
on.
So we
Hold it.
went out to just like a couple bars, saw some stuff around. So I flew back. Fucking flight Monday was at 6 a.m. Had to get up at like 3:30, get on the airplane, got back, went to work, and since then, like all week, I've just been like catching up on hours. So like by the time I get home, like I don't even want to turn my computer on.
Yeah, I'd be the same boat. I'd be like, fuck it.
And then I had to work extra hours to make up time for today because I got more of my tattoo done today. So
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking arm is sitting here stinging and leaking and
The Poseidon arm or the Mercury arm?
Poseidon arm.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
So yeah, I mean, I haven't really played much. I've just been fucking off, trying to get the house clean.
Yeah.
Getting ready. I had to order a bunch of shit for like the house they set up since I'm working from home,
Right.
like KVM switches and like parts for the extra computers I'm getting, and just like crazy shit. I tell you. So Chick-fil-A. You guys have Chick-fil-A in Canada?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
All right, so we
At
got some
Worlds, we
American
literally
back.
said
We had
should
some
go
at
to
Worlds. It was
Chick-fil-A
the
yeah, all
first
right.
time.
So Chick-fil-A.
because we
So
don't
imagine-
have it here.
Yeah.
All right.
It was good. It was really good.
You can relate to this either way. Okay,
Yeah.
Number 2, right? Number 2 is spicy deluxe, or it's just a spicy chicken sandwich. So I walk in today. I'm like, let me get a number 2 deluxe. And the guy's like, you want 2 deluxe sandwiches? I'm like, no, I want a number 2 deluxe. All right, 2 deluxe meals. No. Listen to me. I would like a number 2. I explained it to him. I said, number 2 comes spicy chicken sandwich or the spicy deluxe sandwich. It's got fucking less tomato shit on it. I want a number 2 deluxe. He's like, okay, you're confusing me. I'm like, dude, it's 11 o'clock. I'll make your first customer here. You're on a fucking long haul to here today. This is confusing.
If this is too hard for you,
This is it. You gotta retire, dude.
yeah, man, it's
He's
all
like-
downhill from here, my
Yeah.
guy.
What do you want to drink? I'll have a Coke. All right. So, all right, 2 spicy chicken deluxe meals. No! Oh, 1! Uno deluxo mealo. Okay. Large fry? No, dude, medium. Medium. Just give me 1 fucking spicy chicken sandwich with some french fries and a fucking Coca-Cola. Jesus.
Did you
I
get
had to
it?
get out. Yes.
You
finally.
have the worst luck.
I was waiting
Yeah,
for you to
you're
say he
ordering
didn't put the
meals,
lettuce
dude.
and tomato on it.
Yeah. He probably spit in it a little bit too.
Probably.
He asked for 2 deluxe meals. No, I didn't. Fuck. But yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dude.
Uno
What are you
deluxe.
gonna
You know, I had an interesting experience. It's not customers, while we're telling stories here for the past week, because me and Flint, I think our games this week is kind of together.
Yeah, I got a game I found that I like to play, but I haven't played it yet. I'm gonna talk about
Alrighty.
that a little bit. But
So-
other than that, yeah.
where I'm from, music, like in the city I live in, is like music is always like there's always like live bands and live music and stuff. And at this one bar, they had a rapper. They had a local rapper who's touring around, and he was.
How do you have a
coming
local
home.
rapper in a city of like 1,200?
Wow, thanks for the docs.
I mean, the whole southern of BC is just like
Cool, thanks for the docs.
What city in Canada?
You're getting more and more specific every time you
Jesus.
whatever.
God damn.
Yo,
I'm
tell
pissed.
I
I'm
heard the
pissed.
story already, but I don't wanna hear the
Anyway.
rest of it.
So this rapper, I've actually heard him before. He's not bad, and I listen to rap. I listen to rap music, so I'm not. So okay, so it's not like I don't like. I get rap music. I do. I'm in the know. But he had this guy, who like his opener, who was he first of all he looks terrifying. He's kind of a local legend because he has a big tattoo on his face, and it's like a prison tattoo. It looks awful. I don't even know what it is. Every time I see him, I just kind of like look at my feet and walk by him, right? Like I'm not making eye contact with that guy. Like, oh, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get stabbed. But it turns out that he also wants to be a rapper, and he was opening for the Nelson guy. That's his name, Nelson. Who walks around and I forget his, but anyway. So I was like, he comes on, and I'm like, hey, that's face tattoo. All right, let's.
No, that's young face tattoo.
I
coming
said-
out.
This guy.
I said, yeah, let's reserve judgment. Maybe he's gonna be good, right? I don't know. And so, as I kind of preface this story with, I listen to rap music, and I have to say, from my personal opinion,
You have to.
no.
Listen.
I have an opinion.
Not to hate this guy.
I
listen to rap music.
think mumble rap is the worst thing to happen to the genre since Tupac died. I think that mumble rap is an excuse to be bad at rapping.
Right,
I
so
don't
here
think-
you're scratching. his
I
ears,
know.
Like,
Mumble rap?
Mumble rap, it's
Mumble
a
rap is
style.
fire.
No.
You get
hell
them
no.
trap beats. We'll
Hell
get them
no.
fucking 808s.
Hell no. Lazy. It's a style of rap. And you're about to hear what it sounds like, by the way, Brian. That's why I'm not going to do a verse for you. But like, listen, I grew up with like Eminem, Tupac, 50. Like I'm also old school. NWA, you know what I mean? That's the rap I like. So this guy comes on stage and he goes like, "Yo, what up? I'm here," and he's doing his thing. He hasn't started, and then he comes on, he grabs the mic and he goes, "Fucking with the cully, a hip hop ninjas with a mid flip flop." That was it. That was the lyrics.
That was your way. You're like, Brian, you're about to hear mumble rap, and that was you.
That's
Your attempt
that's
at mumble
that's
rap.
him, dude.
What do you want him to
Let
pull
me
his
ask
fucking
you
phone out
something.
and hold
Let
it
me
next
ask
to
you
the mic?
something.
No,
let me ask you
send him a
something.
link or something. He
No.
attempted to do it himself.
Help me out. Well, all right then. Why don't you explain? What is fucking with the cully?
That's some Canadian shit, must be.
No, hell no.
That's when you get calling at level 2. Yeah, fucking with the call, dude.
Like, what is
Okay,
that?
maybe he plays League of Legends, dude. You're fucking with a collie.
I don't know what I don't know League of Legends. So I was like, for real? That's it? Fucking with the cully, man. Flip flop.
Did he drop like the one verse and leave or what?
No, he kept doing it, but like, I mean, he may as well have. But that was like I don't know. I'm not a fan of mumble rap. I don't like it. I think it's a fad. 2 years, it'll be gone. We'll have all moved on to some other stupid thing.
It's just stuff because everybody, like, that's what people say. So you never know what people mean when they say mumble rap. Like, people say Migos is mumble rap.
Right.
To me,
Okay.
Migos
Yeah.
isn't mumble rap.
No.
No,
Migos
I gotta
is-
understand the lyrics. It's not mumble rap.
No,
Yeah, like, there's a lot.
mumble
But
rap
people
is,
will just say that.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear
I'll be
you.
honest.
I got you.
I know more about hockey than I know about fucking rap.
The rap
Now you're
culture.
gonna learn.
Talk about
This
the
is a
Bruins.
learning.
I might have some idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Fuck the Bruins.
Yo,
Guys,
fucking with the Bruins.
Anyway, I thought it was a funny story. I thought I'd tell it.
it's a good one.
Flint.
Yeah.
Well, we a Smite
We talk- we
podcast
do.
now? Are we a Smite
Yeah,
podcast now?
we're welcome to this SQS Mike podcast. I
Go
just
ahead, buddy.
honestly hadn't had time for other games, and I was logging on, browsing in my neighborhood, and all of a sudden, Matt hit me up and he was like, "Hey, frag o'clock." I'm like, all right, it's frag o'clock. We gotta go on. We gotta get some games in.
Okay, Trelly. Okay, Trelly.
That's what he said. He says, "Fucking frag o'clock." I got the messages up, got the receipts.
He changed
So-
that account name, didn't he? Or is that?
Oh, did he?
He probably
I
did.
thought he
I'd
said he
imagine
changes
did.
that account name all the time.
Yeah, and I think he changed it again. It doesn't matter. Go ahead. Flint.
Anyway, so we're like, all right, well, let's fucking play some Smite. And we played a whole bunch of match of the day, which is like, if you haven't played
It
Smite,
was
it's like
2v2s.
crazy 2v2 game mode, but like basically they just changed the rules up in the normal game, so it's usually like crazy shit, like you have 80% cooldown. You can only play a certain type of character. And this one was 2v2 in the 3v3 map. And we got shit on, like, I want to say 3-4 times in a row, 5 times in a row. And it was bad. So we were getting kind of tilted. So we're like, okay, we're going to go to the real game mode, which is Siege, the 4v4 map. And we
Do it
were
while you
tilted at
can.
that point.
Do it before it's gone.
Do it for us again. And we were like, we got to play gods we're good at. Matt locks in Guan Yu. I'm like, well, we're doing manly shit. I'm locking him Chalk, and we're just fucking rolling. 2 beefcake warriors walking around. And we won 4 games in a row. I was going motherfucking Bloodforge Chalk. Matt was running in first item mystical male Guan Yu. We were like 10-1, 1-0, and 11 assists, just walking around like, can't fuck with us. Can't fuck with us. Killed everyone. It was the most fun I've had.
It was
in
the
that
most fun
game
in
mode.
Smite I've ever had ever. Like, actually, it was like
You know
playing
what?
the game
Yeah,
for the
you're
first
right.
time.
It
was- But Flint, the best part,
It's all recorded.
it's all recorded.
We got it all. Got it all on
wait,
tape.
is Matt actually going to put out some like Smite
No,
YouTube
Flint,
No,
content?
Flint is-
uploading.
Oh, okay.
Flint's uploading it.
That makes
I'm
sense.
uploading it. Don't worry. I got the links. We got both of our perspectives. Got our mic feeds. We're gonna be fucking putting it on the SQA YouTube channel. It's gonna be
Matt is
Radical
not.
Heights Take 2.
No, I don't.
Matt
I
is
don't do
not
that.
taking the chance for anybody to call him Mad Late Matt would say.
Well, I was like,
He's like,
you gotta
I'll
be
leave
shitting
that
me,
in
right? Like,
YouTube.
there's no way
Miss
Matt's
me
actually
with
gonna
that.
make this
Miss
happen.
me with that. Yo,
Here's the thing. I'm
new
not
channel, new me. New channel, new me.
I'm not releasing a date. It's done when it's done.
That's right.
I'm just gonna be in the lab and do what I gotta do.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
that's-
too
that's
busy, you know,
lesson
stacking
learned.
work on your desk.
Punk Duck
here.
style.
SQA
video every day.
podcast, D&D, like, you know, priorities.
Honestly, like now that I've made the overlay and shit for D&D, I might have to clean it up a little bit. It's not that bad. Like you
No, it's
drop
pretty
the
decent.
it's just layer management.
It's layer management, and it's also learning. Like you have like,
Yes.
because once you've done it once, you're like, oh, now what took an hour is going to take 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's really, that's how it works. The first time you do it sucks, and after that, it's not so bad.
Also, the first time you're editing a video, you're like Googling how to do this, and you're
Yeah.
watching like 6 videos on it, and then you're like, okay, I get it now.
And it's
Now
always
I'm-
it's always some dude who like English isn't even his second language; it's his third, and he's like,
which
hello.
props to him. I mean, fucking dude knows
I wish
3
I could.
languages.
Oh, yeah,
He's,
I'm not-
he's
I'm not-
teaching me
I'm
how
not
to use
dis-
Sony Vegas.
Yeah, it's not a disrespect thing, but it's a I'm having a hard time following you thing.
I just watch the
I
clicks.
speak 2 languages.
I watch the mouse clicks. I need that
What's-
eye tracker.
oh, yeah?
working
What's
with
that,
it.
Bryce?
English and bullshit or what?
Canadian and English. I speak both of them.
Canadian, not even American. You speak Canadian and English.
Yeah. Yeah. Canadian.
Well, I know a little bit of Canadian, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah, buddy.
Oh, fuck yeah. So the other thing I want to talk about. So that video is on the way. I got all the clips downloaded. I'm gonna be in the lab.
It's coming out tomorrow.
It's not coming out tomorrow.
No, it
It's
comes
coming
out
when
tomorrow.
It's coming
It comes out.
It's not coming out tomorrow. So I was looking around for games. I was like, I want kind of like games to play with the boys. The Lotto suggested Rust, which I think would be a fun one for us
Rust
to try.
would be good. I've
Yeah,
played
Rust would
right
be a
Rust.
now
good
with our
one.
dicks out, baby. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
And then we'll
Dick
play
Dick.
Rust. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Whoa, whoa, this
Well,
is
hold on. If you play Rust in the game, you got to play it in real life too. Like you got to dicks out for SQA. So I was looking around and I realized that a fighting game I've been looking for has dropped on Steam, and it's been dropped for a while, and I've just been sleeping on it. It's only $8, and I'm picking it up. I think
What is it?
we should.
What's the
It's
game
called,
called?
it's called Fight of Gods. You heard of it?
I've heard of it.
See you later, Matt.
It sounds like some bootleg fucking Smite shit.
Oh, he's got the
getting the
sticks. He's getting the sticks. Let me tell you right now, boys.
Are these the
I
shitty
listed the
sticks?
playable
Are these
characters.
the shitty sticks, Matt?
We got the stick, boys.
Is that
Let's
the
go
shitty
through it.
stick?
Do it.
Yeah, the other one's broken. I can't fix it. I can't replace the part.
Do it. The Kwamba. Yo,
Yo, Guan Yu's in it.
Guan Yu's in it, but he's called Guangdong.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Guangdong out here. But let me tell you, I looked at the characters. I'm a Santa Claus main. And none
I'm a
of you
Santa
guys
Claus
play me.
man.
I'm a Santa Claus main.
Part of
That-
me wants to be.
this is-
Part of me. Go
This is
ahead.
the game that dropped and was like, it had the commercial for Jesus, and it got pulled from like Singapore and like all these like super conservative Christian countries, where he was like, the
South
Son of God's
America.
here, and
Yeah.
he's crossed, and it's just Jesus punching the shit out of Buddha. It's that game.
The worst part about it, the Jesus depiction, is it looks like he literally just came off the cross. He's got the fucking pieces of wood like nailed to him, and he's hitting guys. It's so.
That's so fucked up.
It's
So
You
we're
guys
all
are-
going to
That's
hell.
like the.
that's okay.
I love it.
Jesus
Santa
has a
Claus,
sense of humor.
by the way, has a grab move where he takes a picture with Santa. He fucking grabs you, does a selfie, and then just boom, knee drops you.
And don't worry, all you weebs. Amaterasu made the cut.
She made the cut.
Yeah.
She made it, but we.
That's
out
like
here,
you're
we
developing that, and you're like, hey, man, people probably aren't going to like this. Nah, fuck it. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
throw a cross pun in there. They'll like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
the kind of
fine.
early access content I'll pay for. So like, yeah, just throwing it out there. You want to try a game?
Early access content. That's an interesting thing to bring up there,
That's
Flynn.
an interesting. It's an interesting one. It's almost like I had to pay $4.99 for an unfinished product. Maybe.
Unfinished project, you say? Yes.
Fuck you guys talk about.
I'm
I
totally
don't know.
lost too.
Pay $6 to hear more about that opinion.
Okay, all right,
I
I'll make
get it
that
now.
transaction.
Smooth
Real
segue.
smooth
Transaction,
segue.
you say?
No transaction.
uh,
Oh, you're talking about. Are they large or are they small transactions,
Is
Matt?
this like a
They
manatee-sized one or
Could
what?
be.
Are they like micro manatee sized distractions? Is that?
That was
I'm
a
starting to
really
think so.
little
I'm starting to think
transactions,
so.
if you know what I'm saying. Really
Yeah.
short, little transactions.
Little tiny transactions.
Yeah.
See, if they call them tiny transactions, no one would be shitting on them. And everyone would be like, yeah, tiny transactions sound great.
Okay, so what we decided for our podcast for a core topic to talk about after games this week, we decided, what's pretty a genuine thing to come across in the gaming community, especially growing up with other consoles. It's not like we're like 12 and 14 and 13 and these ages where you grow up with it. This is something that we, as the four of us, grew up with. And that would be microtransactions in gaming. And DLC. I think DLC can
I
be
wouldn't say
like
I
a
grew
part
up with
way.
it. Maybe I'm too old because that shit.
No,
came
we
out when I
didn't
was,
grow
like,
up with
20.
it. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
That's
Wasn't
a
listening hard
big
enough.
thing.
We
So-
remember the full games.
Yeah, like I have. There's a great example, and I thought I opened with this. Grant Kirkhope did the music for Rareware, which he did the music for games like Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. He didn't do Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong 64, like a bunch of games for Rare. Maybe the Super Nintendo games as well. GoldenEye on N64, he did the music for that. And there's a famous quote with him where with Banjo, when Banjo was supposed to be released, Nintendo said you have to release it by this day, and Rareware were like, no, it's not ready, and it just wasn't released because they just told them, no, it's not done. We'll release it when it's finished. And that game sold like crazy, right? Like it was well worth them waiting. But Nintendo was very upset about that. What happens nowadays in modern gaming is they say, we can fix it later, or we can charge for it later. Don't do that part. Don't worry about it.
So there's one thing I want to clarify here, and I was going to ask this actually before, and we never really clarified it. All we said in Facebook was
It's better. Do it live.
Microtransactions.
Do it live.
Are we doing microtransactions, or are we doing DLC, or are we
Well,
combining like all post purchases into one discussion here?
The way I have it laid out with my notes that I'm looking at is I included, you need to separate DLC with microtransactions because people will often tie them together. And I have, I want to separate
Different
them.
things for sure.
But it's good to talk about in this discussion anyway.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
just wanted
and,
to kind of clarify
anything that you would pay for at a game, anything. Like that comes to mind. So microtransaction. What is a microtransaction? Mr. Micro Manatee, care to explain?
Sure. So it's a smaller transaction on top of the base game. So if you pay a certain amount of money for a game, or even if you play a game for free, and the game has a kind of like a loot box system, where you can kind of pay $5 here, $5 there to get extra content in the game that back before this was a regular thing would have been a regular part of the game that you paid for or installed. So for an excellent example would be EA is notorious for doing it.
Oh, we'll get to EA.
We'll get to EA in depth, but like they really started it out, I would say, with their sports games. Where they would do ultimate team modes and you would get card packs, and you would, you don't know what you're getting in the card pack, but you pay $5, you get a pack of cards for players for your team, and you can use that to further yourself in the game mode.
Yes.
Not saying you can't play the game for free, but you can pay to get better things and more content faster. And that's kind of how the debate of microtransactions is sort of evolving, because with this content, a lot of it affects gameplay, and a lot of it is random chance, right? So if I buy a chest or a pack of cards, I don't know what's in it. If I don't know what's in it, is that technically gambling? And now there's kids involved.
So you're absolutely right.
Modern microtransaction.
I was going to say that's like, I was going to back it up and go before that.
You go further back.
I was going to say, I think the easiest and most blatant example of it was the Candy Crush phenomenon. Back when that started.
This is coming down between microtransactions and
well,
DLC, because
Candy
before
Crush,
Candy Crush DLC was a thing.
Oh, all that, yeah, it's before. But when Candy Crush happened, that was like, this is like blatant, and people are throwing their money at this like crazy. Candy Crush is a free puzzle game that if you want to continue, you can wait 5 minutes, or you can pay $1 now.
I think if you're gonna make a big comparison about a game that made a fortune on microtransactions, there's one that definitely predates fucking Candy Crush.
And what game is that?
Farmville.
Here's the thing about Farmville. I never played it.
Facebook Farmville, when it was on Facebook?
Yeah, dude.
Did that have microtransactions in it? I actually never heard about it.
I know the fucking requests from everybody every fucking 5 seconds piss me off.
Same.
I mean, so, like, way back, I never played it, all right? But I know a bit about it, and I was watching a YouTube video years ago talking about, like, the history of microtransactions and kind of how some of these kind of came up. But Farmville, it's kind of like Clash of Clans in a sense. And actually, minus the, attacking other clans kind of world, where Clash of Clans, you'll build your like soldiers and everything has a timer. Oh, okay, I'm building this building. It'll take 8 hours for this building to build. Oh, I'm building these soldiers. One will be made every hour. Or my resources, my money comes like at a certain rate, and I have to log back into it to collect my money. And Farmville had a lot of that, where you would plant your crops and they would take 8-9 hours to do whatever, and you could pay to accelerate the speed in which your crops grew. much like how you can pay to accelerate the rate in which buildings will build in Clash of Clans. So it was a microtransaction pay to win. I think there is, though, like, there's a couple of different types of games. Like, even in your guys' initial discussion, there was this, like, immediate hate on DLC. And I think there is good DLC. And there is bad and toxic DLC. And I think there's good microtransactions. And there's just, like, pay to win microtransactions.
EA did it first, though, I just want to say. Because FIFA Ultimate Team started in 2007. Farmville wasn't released until 2009.
Get shit up! Oh, fact checked! Fact checked!
All right, Wikipedia.
I fucking played a lot of NHL when I was younger. What am I gonna say? All right, no my shit.
Well, we all need to calm down. Calm down here.
But both of them are equally predatory. Farmville was worse, I would say.
They not play the Kim Kardashian game.
No, what? Why were you playing that?
Flint was too busy playing Honey Pop.
Is that the one on Pornhub?
Listen.
Yeah, I played that game.
Don't like Honey Pop. Hold on. Honey Pop doesn't have DLC as far as I know. I could do
one
all
man
the
gonna
sex
do with
puzzles.
all that power?
I could do all the sex puzzles for one low price. There was no nickel and diming.
There's like a popular like Harry Potter game right now, which is pretty much like skinned over from the Kim Kardashian game, and it was like I didn't play it, but my wife played it, and it got to the point where like she was trying to get me to download fucking cheats and hacks for her to put on her phone so she could get around paying the microtransaction fees because she just wants to fucking make her little character look cool all the time. Like, no, you've turned into a monster. I'm not letting this happen. No more Kim fucking Kardashian. No. X-nay.
Miss me with that.
That's crazy. I never really thought of that stuff like microtransactions like that.
Well, it really
like it's always in like my face, obviously, but games like Farmville, like, I mean, I'm into like all Supercell shit, so like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Heyday. So like their farming game is Heyday, and like that like microtransaction shit is always in my face, but like I don't know. I just feel like
you don't feel the need. Yeah.
And I guess other people do. I guess it's based on, from game to game. Microtransaction to me, like immediately, has always been like, I mean, I guess the most popular thing to most people right now is like Fortnite skins. Like, cool, you get the game for free, but you're paying about $20 for fucking Fortnite skin.
Yeah, well, that's a different discussion because as far as I know, I don't play Fortnite. Skins don't benefit the player.
I mean, that's like one thing too. Like they're not. I mean, that's a whole that giving a competitive advantage.
Epic Games,
its own thing.
Yeah, Epic Games.
You can see people like fucking dab and rockets miss them, and I'm like, was that rocket gonna miss anyway, or did the dab actually do it?
Yeah,
like, I don't know like the ins and outs of how the character models actually are when they're emoting.
Look, we'll have to get Duke Sloth on speed dial if we want that known.
Yeah.
So. If we want to know, there's a Smite joke for all you Smite listeners.
Skin advantage.
Yeah, top 5 skin advantage in Smite.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Sauerkraut.
Hey, easy with that. That's wrong. Can't say that. Anyway. So yeah, okay. So I guess now that we've kind of established what DLC is and that FIFA with EA did it way a billion years before Farmville did or anything. Now that we've
you're atting me with the fucking Farmville, and this man's out here with Candy Crush, which is still like way later than the rest.
I'm just saying that I said that was the most blatant example. You saw people. There were like news articles. Man spends $600 on Candy Crush.
DLC back in the game used to come on like a separate disc, and you would put it in your fucking PlayStation shit. And
a separate disc, or it used to like. Because DLC can be well worth your money. Like, here's a good example of DLC that's not old or anything, but Mario Kart 8, when it came out, they released like 4 new tracks for like $5 or something. It was like a ridiculous deal. It was like, oh fuck, and like came with Link, I think. I don't know, it's been a while. So, like, on top of your price, you need to decide in your head, like, is that worth it to get more tracks? I get more value for my dollar. I can play the game for longer. Nintendo gets a cut. Everyone kind of wins. So that's good DLC. And then some DLC is just a second campaign that's just not that fun. Like, that happens. I have no problem with DLC, but with microtransactions that are game impacting is a toxic blemish on the face of gaming. Wow, that came out better than I thought.
Makes hella dollars though.
Imagine buying. You know what? Fuck it. We'll just go right into it. Y'all, I'm sure y'all heard about Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Never heard of it.
No, but like let's start with Battlefront 2 Classic then. Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic. When you bought Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic, you could play as Darth Vader, Yoda, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Han Solo. If you bought the new Battlefront 2,
Jar Jar.
Only in the DLC. No.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you know, he didn't make the cut.
He's the best character.
You know, debatable.
Darth Sidious, am I right? Or
Yeah,
Darth
well,
Plagueis.
Plagueis.
Darth
Yeah,
Plagueis.
I got the
Yeah,
names mixed up. My bad.
that's okay. I feel it. Right. So then they make Battlefront 2, like Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA edition, and everyone's like, okay, let's see it. Imagine buying that game, and you can't play as any of those characters without grinding hours or just buying them. Whereas in the original, you just got all the characters. Here you go. It's very clear that and the game was $80 on top of that. So for $80 Canadian, I don't know, that's like what?
It was like the same thing.
Yeah, okay. $80 Canadian. They nickeled and dime you for an incomplete game. Now, of course, this was like a big final straw, and the game like lost. It didn't make money as much as they were hoping. It lost a lot of its product. There's a huge Reddit thread about it, and it got passed around the interwebs pretty frequently.
Actually, to say on that though, I was watching a
go ahead.
video. There's a YouTube channel I highly recommend called Clean Prince Gaming, and he does like what he calls video essays. And
I love video essays.
Yeah, so he does video essays, and he talks about all kinds of topics, and some of the stuff like I think his titles are getting a little bit clickbaity, which kind of annoy me. But
Listen, I will never blame anyone on YouTube that does that. Just so we're clear.
I know.
They gotta
But,
play the game. They gotta. It's.
I like
shitty,
the way he does his stuff, and so, what he was saying, he talked a lot about this Battlefront 2 DLC kind of microtransaction bullshit, and
Right.
they came out with like later on they did kind of like apologize, and then they were like, okay, well they gave like it was something really stupid where it was like a temporary, like everybody unlocked it for free for like 30 days.
Yeah.
And people were happy with that. And the game actually went on to become relatively played. Its numbers went back up, and it's making a profit.
That's
Now,
disappointing.
I don't think he's put another video out there updating it since. It might not be anymore. But the actual, and like, you see tons of people on Twitter whose opinions were just like, totally happy now. He showed tons of people like, yeah, this is great. People need to stop complaining about costs and whatnot. And it's like, well, no, this system was kind of stupid to begin with.
Especially because it was a blatant loot box system. Not even the thing about that, and here's the other factor: you weren't just buying the characters, and it's not like, oh, I want this extra character to play as. No, you could actually buy guns that were better than other people's guns. As in, if you and your opponent, if I had, I don't know, assault rifle and Flint had assault plasma rifle, let's just call it. If me and him get in a standoff, and even if I catch him off guard, I'm shooting first, I will lose that battle. If he just turns around and shoots me.
Sorry, Greedo. It's all right.
Yeah,
What
apparently.
can you do? What can you do?
That was a good Star Wars joke, Flint.
So why do
That's
people
right.
not have an issue then? If I can do that from playing the game, and just have the
So-
same gun from being higher level than you, why?
Sure.
Well, actually,
So they crunch the hours with now EA. This game is probably an example of like the worst. Just so we're clear. But the hours to get the gun that you could just buy for for $10, it was something like 30 hours of grinding, 35 hours of grinding.
no, it was a hell of a lot more than that. to like the number of hours. I mean, maybe it was like 35 to 40 hours to get like one upgrade.
Yeah,
The thing is,
well, that was
though-
just it. It was one upgrade. You couldn't unlock every character from grinding 30 hours. It wasn't play through the
It
campaign
was
and
literally
get everything.
thousands of hours to even
To
just
get
all of the
everything.
heroes, let alone not just everything, just all the heroes.
Just all the
There's
heroes. There you
also
go.
Reports basically about their systems that came out. So like, and this is where Flint touched on a little bit. I can't remember if it was before recording or during, about how like certain countries are starting to crack down on like loot boxes as gambling and how this is not
Yeah.
okay. But the thing is it's not actually even following traditional rules of gambling. People are buying to gamble, but then they're not meeting the same requirements of gambling laws. So like EA was really bad for like, they had systems in place that your first like couple of rolls would give you, you know, without even telling you. Like there's some games that they're like, oh, these 3 rolls guaranteed to get something at least this quality. But they wouldn't tell you that in EA. They would actually, they had like a deplenishing system where you would get more stuff early, but it was actually had systems in there to detect it to give you loot that didn't suit your play style. And then, so you would get this, and then you would have to spend more, but then your chances of getting the items would actually drop. So that you would buy more, but then there was like a threshold where they would guarantee you a drop to you. So there was actually manipulations within their algorithms to force you to pay more, out like rules that would break like every rule a casino has to obey. Like if a casino had a slot machine that was designed to actually like never allow you to win, or designed to like get you to put more quarters in and just give you enough but always give you like less than you're paying, they would be like sued under the ground. They would be fucking charged, like arrested. But these games are putting in algorithms that break all gambling laws, and people are trying to make loot boxes gambling. And if they do, they still might be able to keep them in the game. They might just kind of force, you know, whatever the gambling age is in the States, but it's like 19 here in most of Canada. And they would force you to be of that gambling age, or kind of like, you know, with adult websites, are you 18? But
Yes.
and then they would be forced to follow like gambling laws. This item has a 1 in 500 chance of dropping, not a 1 in 500, but then when you're actually start investing into it, it's 1 in 5,000. But if you spend like at least 20 chests, then you can get more. There's all kinds of systems in there that are not, that are designed to milk you for more money. They're not actually properly loot rolling. And that, I think, is where like a huge amount of the legislation's coming in. And I see a whole lot of people when they argue about it on Twitter, they're like, well, whatever, if I want to spend it on gambling, I can, yada, yada, yada. And there's a lot of people that enjoy that pay to win. I mean, you have to remember that, like, you know, one of the enjoyments of playing a single player game is I feel overpowered. And one of the things that are like fun in Smite, what's fun in Smite? Being ahead. In League of Legends, being ahead and shit kicking people and feeling super powerful. And if you've got the spare cash and you can drop $200 to do that with an unfair advantage, fuck, it can be enjoyable for those people, and they don't mind doing it. They get to feel like a goddamn boss because their wallets allow them to be.
They get to feel like us every day. You know,
That's it. Mechanical Gods, 10-0 Chalk,
Absolutely.
Bloodforge. I mean,
mystical male go on, baby.
I don't understand it with single player games though. So another piece of news is Shadow of War, which was the other one that kind of set things off.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys ever played that, but they have like a nemesis system where you can play the game and recruit your enemies to fight for you, or you could buy loot boxes.
Yeah,
and
I
those loot
remember
boxes
this.
would give you a chance for an orc. I don't get it, the draw of having loot boxes in single player games.
Though that Shadow of War did have multiplayer. If you built your army, you could assault other players' stuff. But it was a little bit like Clash of Clans, where you weren't in like a full PvP. It was like kind of like Clash of Clans, where you go to attack somebody else's base. They're not there defending themselves. They're just having their pre-made stuff defend themselves. So if you then had the loot boxes, you could make your defenses better, and that would make it harder for the attacking player to succeed. You could have stronger, smarter NPCs defending your base, or stronger equipment helping you siege the enemy base.
Fair enough.
So it was kind of like a PvP, but yeah, definitely in a Clash of Clans style.
Interesting. Okay. I saw the microtransaction thing and I just didn't even touch it. I think I got to the end game and then just finished the game. Games like that, I'm there for the single player. But you know, I grew up in the middle of the Xbox craze, and I think Xbox really ran the microtransaction scene for a while with their Xbox Live Marketplace, and then EA came in and kind of ruined it even more. But when I bought a game like, Modern Warfare 2, right? Like Bryce was saying, what's so bad about paying for a gun that I can get if I can do the same thing by playing? It's that it's an unfair advantage. So like if you and I play, like I play 100 more hours than you and I get better guns, you still can play those same 100 hours and get the same guns. But a guy that's been playing for 5 minutes can buy the best weapon in the game and immediately beat someone that's been playing for like 200 hours.
So your argument isn't that the gun's stronger, that it's his amount of time played, so he doesn't.
There's a level of fairness, right? Yeah, exactly. So like the ACR was really strong in Modern Warfare 2, for example, right? Anyone could get it. You just had to play long enough to get it. But that was across the board for every single player. Whereas like one guy might have $200 to spend. I got nothing to spend, so I'm playing for free. I got to play 300 hours to get the gun that I want. Whereas Buddy can just walk in with his credit card and go, "Yep, I want this one," and immediately get it.
I don't know. I feel like that's like a self, like, I played longer than you, so I deserve it, and you don't.
I think you have to take into account matchmaking. If those games have any amount of algorithms for matchmaking, which I don't know what those are like in shooters, but I think there is some amount of it. If you take somebody with 100 hours of gameplay...
If there's a ranked mode, like CSGO, isn't there?
Yes. You can suddenly buy it and get in with the low levels. Like I never played much of those shooters, so I don't know, but I'm assuming there is some kind of matchmaking.
Casual game modes did not really have.
So that's where it's different. So it's like unfair for me to start playing the game, and you have.
Flint already has the best stuff. You guys both automatically
better than me.
You both bought the game on day one, but Flint got the day one DLC package for the extra $20, and you didn't. And probably 9 times. I was gonna say 9 times out of 10, Flint will kill you in the shootout. Like, not because he's better.
A little bit on this. If it's
like, he shouldn't be able to kill me that easy.
He shouldn't be able to kill you
playing the game later than him.
He shouldn't be able to kill you just because his gun is better. He should be able to kill you because he found you on the map
better than you.
Yeah,
right.
That's where my problem is, and my other problem is I just hate the fact that you can release partially completed games and just fucking patch it later. It drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, but how much of it?
But that's a personal thing. I get that.
How much of it is always? I mean, I guess it could be game to game, like you mentioned the Mario thing earlier, where they release X amount of tracks. How much of that is like Mario was done? It's like, okay, we made these extra maps. Do we create a whole new game for this, or just give this to them on this game?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
I guess I have
comes down to
too much faith in companies for them to be like, we're gonna hold on to these maps that are already done for later on.
Or they might not have been done for release, right? They might, and they can feel like, well, we got 2 maps that are almost done. Why don't we do 2 more, package it together, and then we can sell it. And then you have 4 maps for a cheap amount, and then we'll throw in Link. We'll just create another character real quick. Because they have dev teams to work on this shit all the time, right? Like, it's Nintendo.
I think some of that, though, does come down to the good DLC versus the bad DLC.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what we were kind of saying before, and I think even like to continue this conversation, like we should identify what we think and what I gather the general public's feel for good DLC versus bad DLC is. And you have to realize, like, there's a lot of people that, one, they get passionate about stuff. God, did we ever learn that when we switched to SQA from VD2? But
hit him with it.
But that wasn't meant as a burn. It was actually kind of meant as an eye opener for me. But people like to feel like, one, they're getting a good deal, but 2, they like to feel like they're valued as a customer, that they're viewed as more than a wallet that's walking. People like to find themselves a community to be a part of. And when you have a game like XCOM 2, playing a ton of it, I think it had pretty good DLC, but it actually had a combination of like the kind of good and the bad DLC. Upon game release, you could buy the ultimate bundle that came with, these 7 like things where it's like, oh, cool, now I get all of these like different skins, so I can put this funny looking hat on my character as a DLC. There was even a few guns. I personally hate the pre-order bonus guns, but you could get like these pre-order bonus type guns by doing it. But then they came out with like a DLC, they called it a DLC, and it's like $50, but it's basically an expansion. Right? Like when Diablo 2 came out, everybody was like, oh my God. And when Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction came out, everybody was like, yeah, like it felt so good. It changed so much. It was worthy.
Yeah.
It was an expansion. The word expansion is borderline disappeared outside of MMOs these days. And those kind of DLCs people like. You got like XCOM 2 was a complete game. The other stuff was okay, but the weapons weren't overpowered, but they were unique, specific to that DLC. And I could get the full experience without my guy having a crazy pink mohawk. Right? Like, it was fine. But then, this new DLC came out. Microtransactions that are fine. I think the skins in Smite are fine, right? They're not, they're not a pay-to-win service microtransaction. Like, they're purely a cosmetic microtransaction. I think that's fine. But you have to remember,
the game is free.
The game is free, but people also like to feel, like I said, like they're not just viewed as their wallet. And so even when you have that free content, Smite has their chests, which, I'll buy into them, but I've never been the biggest fan of them, but I had enough disposable income to do it. And some of the bundle stuff, people just start to feel like, all that matters is money. And despite the fact that it is a business, so ultimately the bottom line is your number one importance. But sometimes as a customer you don't want to feel like the only thing that matters is that bottom line. Because then you start to get tastes of games that are like made by EA, right? Where this game was purely made to just sink you for more money than your purchase price. And that's total fucking bullshit.
Because like, if you buy something for $80, I better be able to play as fucking Darth Vader if I want to. $80 is steep.
Yeah. So like you were saying, Matt, you hate when you get like an incomplete game. Those are the bad DLCs.
Yeah.
Where they finished everything and locked half of it behind a second paywall. For release, you're like, so I have to pay $125 to get the full package? Like that feels like shit. But when you get a game that you're like, okay, the game is done, complete. I feel like I've got a full release. And then there's just extras you can buy later. Like, as much as I love the Batman Arkham series, I think that Batman Arkham City had some of the stupidest, most bullshit DLC I have ever seen in my life. If you bought the game...
Asylum was awesome.
Asylum was okay for that.
Asylum was,
But, like, Batman Arkham fucking City, when
City
you
was
bought
the best
game...
But the DLC
City was enjoyable. But when you bought the game, there was a DLC for the Catwoman part of the story.
Yeah.
And it would actually play an important part of the story. And if you like traded the game to your friend or borrowed it or bought it secondhand, you had to buy that DLC to get what actually made the story help make sense. And if you didn't have that DLC, which it was quotations free when you bought the game new, if you didn't have it, like you're just missing part of the story. And that kind of thing, you're just like, you're mad. Or fighting games are really bad for it. Like, can you imagine if Street Fighter came out? Like, Street Fighter 6 comes out, but Ken is a bonus DLC character to come later. You're like, what? Why? Why not make somebody who's like a completely new like IP character? That's like Mortal Kombat without fucking Scorpion. You're like, why?
So, side note, first of all, it's funny that you bring up Street Fighter because I was going to bring this up. But what I had originally said was I hate it when you buy a game and it's not complete. Street Fighter on release wasn't a complete game. Street Fighter 5 didn't have arcade mode. Doesn't have arcade endings. Didn't have a story mode. Didn't have like a ton of shit. It was literally a ranked game simulator. That's it.
Perfect.
It was ranked, and then like you could like fight a computer, and people were like, "That's it."
I'm paying $1 billion.
I paid $60 for this.
Well, like, if Soul Calibur 6 comes out and Talim isn't there on release, but she's released later, I'll be like, fucking flipping tables. Like, this is just fucking, I'll pay for it.
So,
fucking sucker, but.
I'm still going to get it. I'm still going to send it.
Get it.
But, so, with that, with fighting games, usually what happens is fighting games, people will buy them, they'll play them, and then usually they do have what's called a second season or a next phase, and that's to keep interest in the game. It usually comes with a large update. Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, which added new characters, and then it had Street Fighter 4 Ultra, which added new characters. Ultra sucked dick, by the way. That's what made me quit Street
Side
Fighter.
note.
Oh,
Just
side
side
note.
note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not against bringing in new characters, but it is fucking annoying. I do agree, because sometimes
New characters is okay, and even like
Yeah.
the side characters. But I can't remember what was it. Mortal Kombat really suffered from it. I think that one was it Mortal Kombat? There was one of the fighting games years ago that came out. Maybe it was Street Fighter. I think it was actually Street Fighter, where like the character files were in the fucking CD, and people actually like hacked the CD and found the characters in it, but they
that
were
was
behind the paywall.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken is what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember a specific one.
Yeah.
But, like,
So
those
but
kind of
even
ones, you're like,
Tech or Namco got in a lot of trouble for that as well, because on the Xbox version and on the PS version there were console exclusive characters. On the PlayStation version you could play as Cole from Infamous,
okay.
Yeah.
but he was available. He's on every Xbox disc. He just wasn't available. You know?
They just turn a 1 to a 0, and now you're
Yeah.
fucking you can't play.
Now he's gone, right? Like, oh, you can't pick him. His icon doesn't appear, right? But hackers just bypass that, and we're playing as a PlayStation exclusive character on an Xbox.
Seems legit.
Yeah. So Capcom needs to step their game up. Let's just be real here. They've been struggling.
So for free games with
Free games. Let's talk about free games.
where do you draw that line? Like, when is it too much?
When it
So
affects gameplay.
let's start
Right.
with
Well, I
Smite.
think there's a hard
Let's-
line with affecting gameplay.
Let's start with
but-
Smite, boys.
I think that Smite
If
actually is
Bullshit,
starting to, like, some of their stuff is starting to kind of cross a certain line where you're like, okay, like this is,
they're
kind of
just bombarding you at this point. They're just giving you so much. However, at the end of the day, here's my stance on Smite. None of it affects the game. None of it. You can still play Conquest. You can not buy any characters in that game. You just don't have to. You can use the in-game currency. It's very easy to get 5,000 favor to unlock characters. 5,500. Like, it's super easy. You don't have to buy them all. You can buy Cucullin and be fine. You don't have to play anyone
Win the
else.
game. Get a quadra kill.
Yeah, there you go. Free. Absolutely, dude. You can pick, and gods are on rotation. Like, there's characters always changing. They just added, I think, 5 free new gods, right? Bologna, Ku, Ares. They just added them. Yeah, so now there's 10 free gods to choose. However, my problem is, imagine if there was a game mode that you had to buy to get it. Like, you can't play Conquest 2, which is 6 lanes,
Oh shit.
12 teammates, or it's like, that's
Conquest.
frustrating. Skins, completely cosmetic, don't change a thing. However, I do
You
agree
got
with
no-
Brian. I do agree with Brian.
Love.
I do agree with Brian. Quiet, adults are talking.
Okay.
It's getting, like, with
I don't
chess
feel bad for the
and-
dinosaur meme anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
With chess and direct purchases and adventures and bundles, it's getting a bit much.
Well, I think
So-
the Smite thing blew up too. Sorry, Flint, but the Smite thing blew up too because, like, while Stu made a post about it and he's like, oh, okay. In his post, there was a couple of key lines he dropped that, I don't know, maybe HR or, like, PR
Yeah,
would be the better term,
I think they should
wouldn't
have.
have done anything with. So, like, okay, it's all cosmetic. I want this one skin, and people want, like, a direct purchase. Like, if I could buy the T5 for $25, I probably just would have bought the T5 for $25. But I have to buy $100 worth of other content. It
Yeah.
kind of comes down, and it goes into that huge, like, people are like, oh, if an object costs $1,000 and you spent $750 on it, you didn't save $250. You spent $750 fucking dollars. Like, right?
Yeah.
Life lesson number one. And so people want that direct purchase, but one, it doesn't make the company enough money. And two, I don't think that there's enough players that would actually be able to, like, do that. They need to cater to those whales. But Stu or one of the employees actually said in his post talking about the amount of filler they can put into it. Like they
And that's the
fully
word he
know
used.
that jump
Yeah.
stamps and like half that shit, like none of us care about it. The only things we care about is like an announcer pack and a skin. The rest of it is complete and utter garbage filler that is just designed to take our money. They probably make way more money on ward skins than they actually do on the skins, because the ward skin probably costs them like 100th of the man hours to make, but they sell it for half the price.
Probably two
But-
college students.
Yeah,
Draw a
right.
triangle.
Like, how
The
much does
word
it cost
team.
to make a fucking ward skin compared to like a fully functioning like animation skin? But they'll
Yeah.
sell you that ward skin for 200 gems, and they'll sell you the skin for 500. But they'll make you buy 6 of those fucking ward skins and jump stamps and like jump
Voice
stamps
packs.
were cheap. Like there was not that much work put into that. Like
Yeah.
compared to a skin, and then the cost. So now you're spending these 200 gems, $5, $5, trying to get this like one object. And yeah, 90% of what you bought is just fucking, like box
Garbage.
popcorn. Just throw it away. Like it's everywhere.
So when I was younger, like I didn't really have a console growing up, so I played a lot of free to play PC games. I don't know if you guys know a company called Nexon. Makes a lot of free to play video games. Yeah,
I
they
think
made
someone is- what the name
they
sounds
made like
like
Vindictus, Combat Arms.
Combat
there's a whole-
Arms. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
so I played a
I
lot of
know.
Combat Arms, shit like that when I was younger. A lot of free to play games that had these kind of like loot box systems and stuff,
Yeah.
years and years ago. So for me, to answer Bryce's question, a free game, I don't care if you sell cosmetics. I might disagree with your practices, like I'm disagreeing with High Res's practices on how they're doing the Divine Uprising event,
I
or
agree.
how their chests are being run, things like that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't affect the gameplay, so I don't care too much past like, oh, that's kind of predatory.
Part of me thought you were gonna say, but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna buy it anyway. And I was like,
No, I'm done. I'm done. They tap me. But like if I remember like playing games like Combat Arms or Black Desert Online's another big one. A lot of Korean games are like that, where the game itself is free, but to do any kind of end game or to do anything competitive, you need to spend money to get new guns or weapons that directly give you an advantage over other players. And to me, that's the big line in the sand. It's like, I don't care if you
Yeah.
want to give me 16 hats, Team Fortress 2, but if I can't play every character, or someone walks in with $200 in the wallet and gets some guns and stuff like armor that makes them better than me in a
Yeah.
1v1
Team Fortress 2 fell into
situation.
that trap.
Well-
Did you not know that?
No.
what's that?
Team Fortress 2 fell into some of the worst fucking like terrible
Yeah.
type of microtransactions
recent,
I've
isn't
ever
it?
seen.
Is that fairly recent?
I mean, fairly recent, like 7 or 8 years ago.
Oh, okay, then no. I was thinking of something else.
No, I played literally 3 games of Team Fortress 2.
I used to
Okay.
play
I
a
know
ton
it's
of
a-
it. I used to play a lot
Oh,
of it.
same,
Like,
dude.
There was
Yeah.
the vanilla Team Fortress 2, right? Where you
Hell
had all
yeah.
the characters that were just released and all their weapons, and they were balanced. And then they started releasing like bonus weapons for all of the characters. The heavy got a different heavy gun, and the spy would get different stuff. And some of them were really cool. And to get them, for the most part, was like a bit of a random drop you would get in game.
Yeah.
But and then I think the only thing they were selling was hats, because they were some of the first cosmetics that were really selling. But these
Yeah.
weapons you could find, a lot of them you could get. There was 2 ways you could get it. You could get it as a random drop at the end of a match, or you could get it for getting a specific achievement.
Yeah.
So there was maps you would go into, and you would pick this class, and you would have friends, and you would verse each other, and you could totally farm those achievements, like faking it with each other. You could definitely do that. And there were people that would help you get those whole servers dedicated to it, and they seemed to be fine with it. But then later on in the game, they started releasing chests, like the first chest I'd ever seen in a game, a random loot box chest. Or sometimes they would even drop the fucking item, but they started requiring keys to open them. And the only way you could get keys was to trade something for a key or to buy a key for cash.
Yep.
And so then,
This is
then
going on
every
all
item
season.
that used to random drop, everything that you used to get from the achievement, all went in these chests. Then they started releasing tons of variations on the weapons. The heavy no longer had like the 2 or 3 guns that were all balanced. There were guns that were just blatantly better than others. Like,
The
just
spy
this
is
is a better
just
stat.
notorious for that.
And
All this
people-
spy shit is just fucking good.
Yeah, it became really good, and it all
Yeah.
got locked behind a paywall, and it
Yeah.
became pay to win with a random chance to do it. But you could also trade, which was the interesting thing that a lot of the other ones don't do. So there was
Yeah.
people like my roommate, whose room I'm now in now. I've lived with him off and on lots of times, and he didn't have any money to spend on it, but he would play so much, he would have all these chests, and he would trade the chests for keys, and then use those keys to open up some of his other stuff. And there was like this whole weird like economy that revolved around just buying keys. And
Yeah.
at that point, Team Fortress 2 had actually been free to play on Steam as almost like a Steam advertisement for like 4 years. And then
Yeah.
just like 4 years later, they're just like, by the way, just everything's behind a paywall now.
Okay, fair enough. I've literally never played the game other than on the orange box or like a couple
Oh,
times.
the
But
orange box. Those were the days.
but
I
but
bought
but my
Team
point
Fortress
was
2 an orange box day of release.
there you go. You start changing the gameplay, or you start giving other players that have money an advantage. That's where I would draw the line. You want to buy V-Bucks to get a skin? I don't really care. That's whatever. And then anytime there's a microtransaction in an $80 game, that just pisses me off because
I'm with you. Yeah.
I already paid $80. I should just get the full game.
Yeah.
All the content should be available to me as a consumer.
It's $80. That's steep, man.
That's
I
steep.
think
dude.
cosmetic
Evolve-
stuff in those is still okay.
Evolve was brutal for that. It was an $80 release plus crazy amounts of DLC,
Yeah.
and the game had like nothing in it. It was an empty shell of a game, and then the game ended up going free to play.
Yeah, that's what they do. Well, it's because they're looking to get that money initially, right? So
yeah,
when you release the game, there's a certain period where it's hot. You get the dollars
Big-
rolling in, and that's when
big
people
bucks.
like big spenders come in with the microtransactions.
Yeah.
That's why Battlefront 2 kept their microtransactions, or were planning to. I don't know if they did. No, I think they stopped. They stopped before release, but they were planning on keeping it because it's like even with that controversy, if they keep it in the game long enough, whales are still going to spend money on loot boxes, so they'll make their money. They're already getting their money back for developing the game from just people buying physical copies. So anything they make on top of that
It's
with
profit.
microtransactions,
Profit.
gravy. Yeah.
yeah.
So they're just getting as much as they can. And I think EA is really the king of microtransactions. I would say with all
They're-
their sports games and all their like Battlefront and shit like that they're picking up now. It's ridiculous.
Well, like, isn't NBA 2018 or whatever, like, or I don't know the games, I don't pay attention to sports games, but they have like a pro league now in a pay to win game. Like, how the fuck does that work?
Yeah,
That's
so
why
the leagues are different because you can only play as sanctioned league teams, right? So you can only like I know for the NFL one, it was like you can only play as the Seattle Seahawks. You can't like make your own dream team. It's just like you're the Seattle Seahawks
Damn right.
or you're the New England Patriots or
13th man.
Baltimore Ravens. That's it, right? 13th man. All right, there we go. So that's how they get around that. But even then, there are teams that are just better, right? Like in the NHL or the NFL or the NBA, you just have better teams.
Rodney for 3.
Hell yeah. Hell
Yeah, Bryce knows all about Rodney for
Hell
3.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. I've heard the argument, like especially with the sports ones, that it's no different than going out to the store and buying a pack of trading cards, right? Like I go to the local Timmy's and get a top deck pack, and I get like my Sidney Crosby cards and shit. So that's
What do the
What
cards
arguments
do
are-
for you in the game?
they'll let you play as the players. So like
Old
so
players and shit like that.
yeah, any player. So what they'll do is it's called Ultimate Team, right? So you buy a pack of cards, and this is I think across their all the franchises, right? And those cards of the players translate to players you can put on your team. So if I get a card, I get the Wayne Gretzky card. Wayne Gretzky can be on my team now. If I don't have that card, I can't use him. So you can't just pick from everyone. It's
But you
like
still
whatever
get all
cards you
the
have.
standard NHL players
No.
that are
No, you don't.
You don't get anyone. You don't get anyone. When you start the game, I think you get like 10 or 15 packs, enough to build a team, but they're all shit players. And then as you play more, you get like a couple coins, and then like 200 coins gets you a new pack. Or you can spend $20 and get their premium points, and that lets you open as many packs as you want.
And
or
all the
however
players
many
go
you
to
buy.
their own teams, or you create like a super team with it.
You create a super team.
That's dumb. What if I
the
just
thing
want to
is,
play
like,
the
see-
Bulls against the fucking Sonics?
Oh yeah, you can do that. That's a different game mode, right? Like you can just go online and play as the Montreal Canadiens or the Chicago Bulls, and the other people can be whoever they want. But
What about the Expos?
sure, I don't play NBA or oh boy, MLB.
Expos don't exist anymore, idiot.
I know,
Vancouver, dude, play as the Vancouver Grizzlies.
dude.
Actually, that,
Manitoba.
reminds me of like we were talking about like gambling and loot boxes, but I think we're forgetting the oldest like quotations loot box game around, Magic the Gathering. And
True.
so you're
True.
talking about this ultimate team, and there's a certain amount where it's like, I think as long as like the rates are fine and you're okay and you're signing up for this, like it's okay. Like if you actually bought like a physical pack to get like Wayne Gretzky and all that stuff, like that's fine. Or if you're doing the digital, and if the only thing that's disappearing is, you know, you get Wayne Gretzky and maybe you don't get doubles of Wayne Gretzky, then I think that's fine. I think the problem kind of arises is when like the percentage chances of getting things is shifting. So like, I mean, we were talking Magic the Gathering, like you can't actually get any more like straight normal fucking random chance. Like you're buying a physical pack that was pre-made. There's no way they can milk you more, right? And if they had their rates too bad, people would be mad. They wouldn't be buying all these extra boxes. And you actually have whales. I mean, I had a friend who was part owner of a comic shop, and he said like Magic the Gathering set release day was like insane. They would have like pallets and pallets of boxes, and people would come in and just buy like 7 or 8 boxes, like drop $800 a person. And the entirety of the comic shop survival came down to like one day every 6 months. When the new set came out, they would make enough money in 1 month to then lose money for the next 5 and make a profit over the year. A lot of these comic shops. And so like the reason they have these like setups for people to come and like, you know, build almost like a community there is so that you come spend your $800 at my store, not somebody else's store.
Not Johnny Comics down the street.
Yeah, and then
Not Curious Comics. No way.
Not curious.
So I think that comes down to like, if you're doing a random loot box, I don't have that much of an issue of it if the percentages are legit. And I think like high res's percentages are legit. As far as I know, I don't think they're doing any kind of like rigging to keep you from. I think some of the numbers are not like. I know high res's numbers are like there's 80 items in this chest, but you don't have a 1 in 80 chance of getting the ultimate one. But in a Magic the Gathering game, there's 200 cards, but there's certain cards that don't have a 1 in 200 chance. I think those are fine. I think in China you have to like, well, actually, I think the gambling is just straight
you have
up
to
illegal.
state your odds in China.
In China, the odds have to be clearly stated.
The odds have to be clearly stated. I think some of those should really show the odds clearly stated, and I think
so.
I think that would be a lot better off. But
See, that's the part that pisses me off about loot boxes is you don't know, right? So like you're saying like I think high reses are fair, and they might be, but you don't know,
You
right?
know.
Like you
they've
don't have the
openly
numbers
said
in front
that
of you.
The numbers are not even.
Cooper
but they
might
don't
be
put up
sitting
the
there.
numbers.
Cooper's making chests. No, I know they're saying the numbers aren't even, which is better than a lot of companies would say. But I was saying like you don't know how weighted they are, and with stuff
Bryce,
like
what do
EA,
you think?
yeah. But what the fuck do you think, Bryce?
Big
Tell me
Daddy.
about it.
Big
No,
Daddy
listen
sitting
to me.
there
Keep going.
like
I'm
swag,
listening.
just
I'm
being like,
listening.
I'm
You-
listening.
You're waiting to see. You're gonna come in with the hot meme. All right. Well, like I'm just saying, like if like loot boxes are a whole another bag of worms almost, because like there's a whole argument: is it gambling or not? I think it is. But if they showed the odds, at least I, as a consumer, can make that purchase decision. You know, like I can look at it and go, okay, I got like a fucking this.
And I
this
think they're going to
cool
avoid
skin.
doing it as long as you can. They're not
Oh, gotcha.
necessarily lying
Yeah,
to you.
absolutely.
If you've got a 55 skin chest and the skin you want has a 1 in 400 chance of rolling, you know, out of that 55, like I might be a lot less inclined to buy that chest, especially if I'm down to maybe 45 out of, 50. I've got only 10 items left. But even with only 10 items left, my odds of getting the skin actually hasn't increased until I'm down to like the last 3. Because, like if those numbers aren't shown to me, if those numbers were shown to me, like you have a 1 in 300 chance of getting the skin, even though there's only 10 objects left in it, I'm going to be like, I'm not going to buy it, right? Fuck it. But your brain, you're automatically going to think, oh, I've got a 1 in 10 chance of getting it. That's not bad. Yeah. I'm willing to spend my money on that. So they're going to hold off on not telling you that as long as possible.
Their business. Hi-Res is a little better because like as much as you say like I have a 1 in 300, even if I only have 10 clicks left to get this item, in 10 clicks you're getting that item, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like you know that like I buy this chest 10 times, it might be on the 10th one, but I will get the item I want. With stuff like card packs in Ultimate Team or loot boxes in Battlefront, even Overwatch to an extent, there's no upper limit to the amount of chests you can buy, right? Like in a 55 item chest, I can only buy that 55 times, but I can buy 6,000 card packs on EA Ultimate Team. And I can get duplicates and all that shit, right? So like,
and you can still get Hendrik, but no Sedin.
That's it.
It's just shitty that
what?
It's shitty that a developer has to, the way they act about loot boxes or loot crates or whatever their version is, card system. They act like they're doing it because that's the way they have to make money. If we don't make the skin and put it in the chest, it can't be direct purchasable because we won't make money. Well, yes, you can. I don't know how it is now, but League of Legends, back when I played, every single skin that came out was direct purchase.
You have to remember, though, League of Legends also didn't have the champion pack. So I probably spent almost as much on characters as I did on skins in my time playing, if not more. And I bought all of my characters on sale.
Yeah, I didn't buy any characters on it.
So I did. So you got people that are buying characters because it's like, you know what? I've got character ADD. I really want to play like all of these different characters. And I would get impatient to save up for them. I didn't have enough playtime to earn enough points to buy a character. Like my game time's always been kind of off and on, or my patience for MOBAs has always been off and on. So I would get maybe a new character every like 3 months from points, but they would release a new character every month. So I couldn't keep up with them. I had to buy them if I wanted to get them. And then League of Legends
so with the God Pack, right? So but so now they have mixer money coming in, SPL money.
Facebook
I think that just pays for a lot of the esports side. I don't know if that actually covers their bottom line much.
I guess, okay, so let's say you're releasing 5-6 skins a patch, which isn't unreasonable.
No, it's about right.
How tough is it to have a skin every patch be direct purchasable?
I mean, can't do it.
And even some of their practices,
why
like
not?
The defend middle lane side, like I don't want it to feel like I'm flip flopping. Like suddenly I'm SQA and I'm now anti high res. Like there was a little bit of like kind of burn about like some of it bugged me a little bit, and it still doesn't bug me too much that they're all not direct.
I just buy them all, so I don't give a fuck. I just think it's
I bought
shitty.
them all, so I did it all. But I understand for the people that like there is so many systems in there from high res. I think that result in them not being able to just do all direct purchase skins. I mean, one, they weren't making enough money when the game first came out. Without the loot chests. And when loot chests came out, people were fucking yelling. I know they were. I was around when they came out. I was upset by it. I was like, I still don't have the nuclear Ymir because I refused to buy out that chest to get it. But, what was I going to say? Totally lost my train of thought. But, definitely lost my train of thought. Fuck me. But
yeah, okay, but with Smite's case, you were still playing the whole game for free.
You are still playing the whole game for free.
You're doing everything. You're still. It's not like I can't buy Bancroft's talent unless I pay $5.
No,
you know what I mean?
Affect
you can still get Bancroft's talent.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying keep the loot box thing. But hey, fucking let's toss a little thing over here once in a while.
Throw us a bone every now and again.
I think what the point I was going to come to now that I'm thinking back on it was that like the people that don't have the huge amounts of disposable income, right? Like the guy who's only got $20, and plays League of Legends can main these 3 characters and maybe with some sales buy a skin for each of those 3 and feel contented to do so. But in Smite, because everything is hidden behind all of these exclusives and all of these chests and stuff, the skin's gone, you have to spend money now, and the guy that doesn't have enough money to do that feels less valued as a customer. They feel almost shunned by the company. They're like, well, I guess I can't support you in the way I'd like to. I don't want to buy all of this junk I don't give a shit about. I really only want these 3 objects, and I'm not allowed to give you my money. So you see the people on Reddit, it's like, you're refusing my money, you must be stupid at business. Well, no, they're refusing your 15 to take my 80. And ultimately, on a strictly numerical
You're
standpoint,
stupid at business.
Yeah. But on a strictly numerical point, it makes sense on a business decision, but I don't think it helps anything towards relations. I think that, anybody, that person there, like they want, people put money into Patreon. They love to throw money at things they love. Shout out to the Patreon that's coming one day. But even for the people that are making successful Patreons,
Jake Paul 2020.
There's people that literally have like next to nothing for the rewards, and they get like $2,000 a month from people. I remember Rooster Teeth was talking about. I was back and listening to the Rooster Teeth podcast. Gus was talking about when he first made his show, or they first got started. A guy came out and they had like the one DVD, or they just downloaded it. I think that's what they did. They downloaded it on and burnt it themselves, and then had a night of drinking watching Red versus Blue. And the guy literally saw Gus and just handed him like $60. And Gus was like, "Why are you giving me money?" And he's like, "Well, to be honest, like this $60 gave me more entertainment than, the 6 movie tickets we would have spent to all go together or whatever." Right.
Yep.
So like, this is what I would have paid to have a night at the movies, and I enjoyed myself more. And they just gave them money for like no apparent reason. People like to support the things they love. That's just a very common thing. It's one of really the only ways as a stranger you can maybe show your love is to often hand out cash. And well, if you've only got $15, and people spend their last $10 to support something they love, but if your $10 can only buy you just like 2 chest rolls in Smite, you're just kind of like, fuck. Or a skin comes out for a god that you really, really like, but you have to buy $50 worth of stuff to get just that one object. You're just like, fuck you. Fine. It feels greedy to that consumer. And they feel like they can't support the thing they love that way. And to them, they think that because they're not able to give their money, people always relate to people like them. So us, who had the income and would go and buy all those skins, you're like, what's the big deal? But the guy who's broke and doesn't have the money to buy all those skins is thinking that more people are like him. So he thinks it's a stupid business decision. They're turning their nose to money.
Now imagine paying $80 for a game and getting that same feeling.
Yeah. So imagine a game like Overwatch.
And then you get heated.
To be
And then
honest,
you get heated.
all of the
So
DLC combined in that $80 game, I still spend less than I spent on Smite in like 6 months.
Yep.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
It's a dark time.
I'm tapped out though. I'm
It's
tapped
clearly
out
a
though.
dark time. I should have not counted on the sun to light my face as it is getting
Listen.
darker and darker and darker. Shit,
Let's
I need
get
a
to some
lamp.
community challenge.
I think.
Yeah,
I think
I'll pay you $4.99 to get to the community challenge.
Well, why don't we
DLC.
just like final thoughts here? Final thoughts here.
Loot box bad.
DLC isn't bad. Finish your fucking game before you release it. Put it in a goddamn arcade mode if it's a fighting game.
No chests. Go away. We done.
It's a tough balance. You gotta
It's a
just
tough
figure it.
balance, but you know,
It's the bus company problem, right?
it's know your limit, play within it.
BC Lotto.
Smart.
That's
Listen
BC
to your
Lotto.
fucking
Wait, you guys got that one out there too? The
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got it over here.
Maybe it's just a Canadian gambling motto.
You guys do
Maybe it
you guys do you have that in your in Texas there?
What's that?
That's know your limit, play within it.
No.
It's a lotto.
Oh, shit, I all right.
It's like the
commercial.
saying to your lotto.
Yeah.
yeah. We
I
get
think that's-
wild ads.
For
Bring up
those
that
new to
community
VD2
section.
Or fuck, I fucked it up. For those of you new to SQA, I mean, we're not a news article discussing this. We're 4 dudes, often drinking, not today, rambling about a topic.
Speak for yourself.
Usually our notes consists of if you speak for yourself. I guess Flint's had some, but this is if you're looking for deep intellectual discussion, I think I provide it, and these three just kind of are here. But this is about the depth of our discussions typically go, and about as off topic and rambling as they go.
Bring it on.
Rambles are. We have the Ramble DLC.
Ramble
Free of
deals.
charge. Free of charge. Happens
Yep.
every episode.
Only this weekend.
So I think
Limited.
for this week's community challenge, since we kind of talked over Bryce the whole episode, I'll let him read the whammy chat. But so there's some long ones in there too, boy.
Have fun.
I know.
Gonna have a nap.
So
Midnight.
for those new to SQA, every week we issue a community challenge to the community. We post it in the Discord. We also announce it in the episode prior. So in episode 1, we announce the community challenge for episode 2. And then in episode 2, we submit our answers, but then we also read out community submissions. As the community is small, we can probably read all of them, and then ideally, when it grows to be massive and we can all quit our jobs to do a podcast full time, we'll read a couple of the selective ones. And so yeah, that's kind of how we do it. This week's community challenge was, what game did you play growing up that made you realize that, like, dude, I'm a gamer. Like, I can't pretend. It's kind of like Naruto for Bryce, like realizing that he is now a weeb.
Nope, not accepting that yet. Nope, maybe.
But
Sure.
yeah, that was
All
the
right,
community
hit
challenge
us
this week.
with it. Hit us with it.
I got one we'll do for that.
I'm
gonna
excited.
find a lamp while Bryce is reading.
All right, you boys ready?
Hit them with it.
Wait, are we doing ours first and then read the chat?
Do a couple of theirs, then we'll do ours.
Make sure.
All right, we got Kurt, dude. Don't think there was a specific moment that made me realize I was a gamer. I've been playing games for as long as I can remember, starting with Super Mario Land 2 for the OG gray brick Game Boy.
Hell yeah.
Went to the PS1 playing Spyro 3, among other things. Oh, Spyro was the shit. GameCube with Super Mario Sunshine, Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Ball, is that like Super Meat Boy?
Kinda,
Snickers.
actually.
Not really.
Yeah.
No, not
2D to 3D, but you run. That's it.
Then a ball.
And a ball.
Double Dash. I remember
Hell
playing
yeah.
Monkey Ball and trying to figure out how the whole game console controller works together. That's what kind of started my passion for tech in general. Probably wouldn't be alive right now if it wasn't for gaming. Oh shit! I'm so ingrained into who I am as a person.
Aw. Bible thump.
Whammy level 14.
That's how you know it was a real story. He leveled up in Whammy chat.
Yeah.
Join our Discord for level up experiences. $2.99.
Free this week.
$3.99 to make the bot stop leveling you up. Free of charge if Aiden was still level 12.
So many people get mad at that bot, man. It's like it's just
I
it's
should have
just out here.
stopped it. I should have stopped. Oh yeah, everybody yells at the bot every time they
It's
level.
fun.
Shut up, bot.
You don't know.
Jordania. Mine was when I was young, around 4 or 5. My parents told me they had a surprise for me and brought me up from the basement in a box. What? They brought you up from the basement in a box? Oh, your very first video game console, the N64. Oh, okay, all right.
And 64. Mine too, buddy.
It only had one game, and that was Super Mario 64. I played
Yup.
that, and since that day, I always played games with consistency. Rare, I go a day pretty much without some sort of game. What? Without
a
some
week.
sort of game.
In
oh,
a week.
game. Okay, game a week. Okay. Yeah. Super Mario 64. I hated it first, and I didn't play it, and then I enjoyed it. It's
I
just because it
played
was so
the
different.
shit out of the first stage. Like, would get all 8 stars in that, and then do the one where you like slide down on your belly on the ice, and that was about it. Everything else, I never owned it, so I only played it at friends, and yeah, I knew the shit out of the first stage though.
What about you,
never
Flint? What's
played it.
yours?
What's mine?
Yeah.
Dude, probably gotta be Pokemon Silver for the Game Boy Advance.
Not
Played
even red or blue. You're going way to silver. You're skipping
He's
the
too
OG
young.
Pokemon.
Too young, dude. Red fucking came out the year I was born. I mean, I was
Oh,
born with a Game Boy in
oh
hand,
my
dude. But
God.
fuck, come on now. I remember playing Red and Blue, right? Like when I was like 1. Got that memory locked down. That was the one where I used to think press start with the Pokemon on the fucking select screen. You got to play as that one, but well, little bab.
You don't know
Gold-
nothing about having to hook Game Boys together in order to trade Pokemon.
Yes, I do. What do you
Okay,
mean?
all right.
He's not
Okay.
that young.
Come
Okay.
on now. I remember the link cables. I remember I had the
All right.
fucking the sparkly one. You know, comes out. It's nice.
Huh,
Yeah,
We
I
were
got-
getting the wireless link cable for our Game Boy Advances for Pokemon that came with
Fire Red,
Pokemon
Fire
Fire Red
Red.
and Leaf Green, and like
That was
we thought
DLC,
that
let me
was
tell
the
you.
coolest shit, dude.
Yo, that was the real DLC.
That was
That
real
was-
deal.
that was the real
Nintendo
deal.
out here giving you fucking adapters for your Game Boy.
I remember that
But-
shit.
Yeah, man, I got a Game Boy Advance and Pokemon Silver. I played like 2,000 hours as a kid. Before that, video games were like, whatever. And then that pretty much locked me into any kind of video game I could get my
You
hands
played
on.
Silver on Advance, so
Yeah,
like,
I
you
was one of
played it,
those
like,
guys that had the wide
years
Game
and years
Boy.
later, 'cause I'm trying to think about it. If Pokemon Red came out when you were born, Pokemon Silver came out when you were 3, or something like that. Like it was only 2-3 years later.
Pokemon Silver came out in 2000. 1999, November 21st, 1999. Game Boy
Yeah, I think
Advance
Red came out in like
came
96 or 95.
96. So yeah, I got a Game Boy Advance and Pokemon Silver at the same time. So it would have been like a year after release of Pokemon Silver. So like 2001, roughly.
That's what started it all.
Started it all. That's it.
All right.
All right,
So,
moving on.
I feel like this is the name I fuck up too. Is it Euphea? Euphella?
You fella.
I'm guessing it's you, fella.
You know, like
I
you
feel
ever
like
play
it's-
RuneScape, old
it's a
school
yay.
RuneScape?
It's
You
double L.
Bo.
Anyway, just say you. Not really sure. I've always loved video games, but my mom did not like them, so I never really got anything gaming related unless I bought it myself. And before the age of 14, where I could buy myself a PC, I had a couple of Nintendo DS and DSi's to play Pokemon and Mario on. So to answer the question, I've been a PC gamer for almost 6 years and console gamer for 10 to 11 years. That's the way I was really. I never had a PC growing up.
It's hard out here, dude.
I grew up in the streets.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yo, Matt can tell you about the streets.
I grew up on the streets, dude, listening to mumble rap. Fucking with the
Seriously.
Cully, dude.
Fucking
with the
call.
Fucking with the Cully.
PC.
Fucking with the
Yuki
Cully.
says, long time, boys. I realized I was a gamer about the time I had 30 hours of Oregon Trail 3rd edition.
Oh my God.
Gateway 2098. So I didn't stop playing until I got the whole starting group to the end, and I did it. No, you did, dude. You motherfucker died of dysentery. Is what you
Died
did.
of
You didn't make it to
dysentery.
the end.
Don't
Oh,
at
yeah.
me. Don't
Fucking
even
died
with that
of
Listen,
shit.
if you practice hard enough, you can overcome a disease too. Okay.
Yeah,
You
the
can
fucking
overcome
wagon
dysentery.
wheels are breaking off. You did not make. Nobody actually beat Oregon Trail. You either quit and started over, or you died at this. I don't believe anybody ever.
Yo, you
There's
guys
a
have that-
strategy for it that sadly I've committed to memory to this day. You wait? Okay, I didn't realize you made the joke. I play that game. You have died of dysentery, so you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that strategy to how you beat Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail streaming coming.
I saw if you go to like Walmart and shit, they have like handheld games now that's just like Oregon Trail. Like that's all it is. Comes in like a little $10.
Yeah.
You
There's an
buy Oregon Trail.
iPhone or like I think Oregon Trail is on the iPhone market or the Google market.
Yeah,
With
it
your
is.
phone.
I might have to check that out.
I think there's also a free DOS website that plays it. Like it's legal. Like they did it on purpose. I'm not saying
Oh,
it's
that's
like, oh, you just download it. No, I mean like a bunch of DOS games are on this website for free for a reason.
Yo, you guys remember Cross Country Canada? You guys play that on the fucking
Yeah,
PC instead
I was
of
about
Oregon
to
Trail?
say I also played the Yukon Trail.
I never heard of that. What is it?
Which-
What's cross
It's the Oregon Trail, but you go to the Yukon in Canada.
Isn't that
Yukon is
in
right
Alaska?
beside Alaska there, just so you know, Bryce.
That's what I just said. Isn't that in Alaska? Yeah, hot springs and shit up there.
Yeah,
Fucking icebergs and shit.
yeah,
I've been in
Polar
Alaska.
bears and shit.
Saw a couple moose. Yeah.
yeah. So you go. I think you go through British Columbia up to the Yukon, like Alberta, British Columbia. You do like you make like a hockey stick. You go up like that.
Of course you do. Make what? Make
Through the
nice
mountains,
lines.
through the BC
Canada.
Rockies.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun
Dirt
game.
Nap's dad. I knew I was a gamer. This is a long when he. I knew I was a gamer when they invented the first video game. I knew I was a gamer when I used to being sick to stay home from school so I could play video games on my old Odyssey system.
Oh shit, the Odyssey. That's a
It was
throwback.
Atari's competition.
Magnavox
Yes, I know.
Odyssey, dude.
Dirt Naps.
We had,
Call it
like,
it is.
We had like 50 games for the system, and I remember PickAxe Pete. That's a motherfucking name right there. What's up, PickAxe Pete?
Yo, what do you do for a living,
Baseball.
PickAxe Pete?
Yeah, you know,
Bryce,
I'm fucking
next time we buy a game on Steam and it's like create your account, could that be your account name?
Oh,
PickAxe
for sure.
Pete?
It might be. I might change my name. I'm no longer sad. My name, motherfucker, PickAxe Pete.
Yo, I'm looking at a box art of PickAxe Pete. Dude looks like a fucking baller.
Does he? I gotta go. Everybody's gotta go.
Everybody
PickAxe
look at
Pete
it.
right
You'll
now.
put that in the
Everyone
thumbnail.
watching right now.
Put that in the
fucking-
thumbnail.
Listen, Google PickAxe Pete. First thing comes up. I'm dropping in the chat. Don't worry, I got you, boys.
Yo, Whoa,
PickAxe Pete looks like a fucking G.
Look at his shoulders. Damn.
His shoulders bigger than his face.
I
Like,
know.
He's got that
Yo.
Matt shirt on.
Got them deltoids, dude. Yeah, he's got my shirt.
Fucking PickAxe
Yo.
Pete.
Group play game. PickAxe Pete net play. Let's do it. Pop on the sticks. And
Get
know
on
what
the
this
sticks.
game's about.
And no wonder Dirt is the way he is. He started skipping school in kindergarten. That actually explains a lot. That explains a lot.
Dude, I'd be skipping school if I was playing fucking PickAxe Pete.
Yeah, you can't blame him. Can't blame him.
Oh, that looks different.
What about you,
Uh-oh.
Brian?
What did you type in, Flint?
Oh, no, never mind.
Send
No,
that
not
one to the
that
Discord.
part.
Not Dick Axe Pete. PickAxe Pete.
We're not talking about Atari porn games this episode.
Oh, that would be fun to talk about, though.
It wouldn't be fun.
I mean, you'd have to play them. And then Bryce.
You
would
never
be
played
all up in
Custer's
arms.
Revenge? You're fucking missing
I was gonna
out.
say, wow, dude. Talk
Never played
about
Custer's Revenge.
Yo, Triple X Patreon stream coming soon.
Hell yeah.
Unlisted. Let's do it.
We cam girls now.
What about you,
Game that
Brian?
I knew that I was a gamer. I feel like my whole life, like from the time I was like 3 or 4, as soon as I can get my hand on one, like I'm trying to think of like a specific game that I was like, oh yeah, this one definitely made me a gamer. But like the first console I remember owning was the Super Nintendo, which of course came with Mario. But even by then, like if my neighbor friends or my cousins had like a console, like all I wanted to do was play games at their house. So I remember playing like NES and other consoles before ever getting a Super Nintendo, to the point that I was begging for one. I can't, like, I don't know. I always gravitated to them. Even then, you know those like pre-Game Boy like old like handhelds that would just be like an arcade game or whatever?
Tiger Electronics, dude. Yeah.
I had some of those too before the Super Nintendo. Like all I wanted to do was play video games like all the time from like day one. So I can't open that Discord because it doesn't matter if I move it Windows, the video shows up on
Oh
there.
yeah. You get it later.
But Flint's sending us apparently naughty pictures of
It's-
PickAxe Pete.
PickAxe Pete. This is before he started becoming a baller. This is like early
Yeah.
days of PickAxe Pete.
It's
But
still fresh.
yeah, I guess I
creepy.
would say Super Mario, because that was the first game I owned. But I was begging for a Nintendo before I even got that.
All right.
Super
I
Mario.
want to tell mine because it's in my head
Which-
right now. Popped in my
Knock
head.
yourself out.
All right. So the year is probably like 98, 99, probably. Me and my brother are at the arcade. I actually think I told this story when Freight Train was on, like briefly. Me and my brother were playing some Street Fighter 2. I was rocking Ryu. Ryu's always been my boy. Like I play other characters too, but Ryu is like comfort pick. Like Throw
Fucking
Hadoukens.
Shotos.
That's right, man. I'm a Shoto fighter.
Fucking Shotos.
Yo, if Street Fighter 5 was just Ken and Ryu, I would have been totally fine with it. I'd have been like, yep, we in there. No, but I also like E Honda, Big Fat Sumo, you know, and Blanca. Oh yeah, dude, Blanca, hell yeah. Dalsum. I could pretty much play the original 8 except for Chun-Li. I can't play Chun, never figured her out. Original 6, not 8. 8 is the added characters. Anyway, and then one day I beat my brother, hit him with the Shoryuken, and he was about to put in his quarters. But some other kid came up to the machine and put his quarters on the table. He said, I got next game. That moment I knew. I had no idea who that kid was. To this day, I don't know. All I know is he ain't got no ground game. He can't check Hadoukens. Bitch got bodied. Thanks for the money. Come back again another time, bitch. That's all I know. When you pick up the stick, that's it. No mercy.
Obvious.
That's when I knew. That moment when he put 2 quarters on the machine, it was
Ooh.
like I'm playing because if I lose, I gotta pay 2 quarters. I'm like 6. I don't have 2
That's a
quarters.
huge allowance.
That's a whole nother game.
Nah, I'm running these quarters out. That's when I knew. End of my story. I'm a little emotional.
All right. That you got into it.
You can look at that third PickAxe Pete cover box I just sent you.
Sure, yeah. What? Dude looks like Carmen Sandiego.
It's the 3 stages of PickAxe Pete's
Damn,
life.
dude.
Dude,
I like to
downhill.
imagine like he just got his
Downhill
job.
after
He's
porn
super
career.
happy. He's like, do, and then he like got like dysentery from
Dysentery.
yeah, and then he just got all skinny, turned yellow, got scurvy, turned all yellow and shit, and now he's like hiding in the. Oh man, this is him old. He's got a gray beard. He's like, I can't.
Well, I want to know the lore behind PickAxe Pete. Dirtnap's dad.
Dirt
Hit
App's
us
dad.
up for this.
Send me some fan
He
fiction.
put us on to something. Dirt put us on with that one.
Put us on a
Dirt
the
App's
oldies.
dad. Send us your PickAxe Pete fan fiction, please. Give us the backstory here.
Pizza rolls. I guess I realized video games would be a part of my daily routine early on. I've been playing since birth. Brother would pretend to plug controller in, but you guys,
Oh,
but you
yo,
guys want the real shit? Oh yeah, that's some nasty. Like, come on.
my brother did that to me too.
The juicy deets. The year was 2003, and my brother was already very deep in the SOCOM community. Hell yeah, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. I have played on his account many times, but the time had come for your boy to become the best gamer the world has ever seen.
I'm feeling it.
My
I'm feeling
brother's
it.
IGN has always been bologna sandwich. That's a
Good name. Good name.
That's a good name.
Bologna
Good name.
sandwich.
John Tron. Good
So we
name.
knew that my name needed to be food related. But unfortunately, bagel bites was taken. So pizza rolls was the next best thing. I then played pretty much every day, quickly realizing I was better than most players. SOCOM has a special place in my heart for being the first game to unleash my competitive side. Big oof with the typos. It's all good, yo. SOCOM was fire. Too bad everything after SOCOM 2. I'll say SOCOM 3 sucked.
Not so
Nev,
much fun.
hey. Well, I mentioned in the previous challenge that I got the Super Nintendo for Christmas as a kid and spent a lot of time playing Mario or Tetris with my mom. I think my parents figured out I was a gamer before I did when they grounded me from the Super Nintendo, but not from TV. Whenever I did something bad.
That's real. That's real.
Can relate, dude. Can relate.
I personally didn't consider myself a gamer until much later. Circa 2003. Oh, I get shit on fucking Pizza Roll. She said circa 2003. And that's gonna
Yeah,
just
dude.
go with
Yeah,
What
dude.
does circa even
Time
mean?
Splitters
She
2.
dropped the bomb on her.
Circa is just around, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Suka?
Fucking
It's
look.
bitch in
No,
Russian.
not Suka.
Suka,
Not
Suka.
Suka. Circa.
Circa bless?
No, Circa Black.
With Time Splitters
Caught
2.
me off
Played
guard
every
with that.
day
Caught me off guard with that.
and made a lot of friends online. Was absolutely devastated. Closed servers. Rest is history. But we all know what I play all the time now. Fortnite.
Fortnite.
No idea. Oh, Thanos
What the
is
fuck?
XCOM.
right?
What is Time Splitters 2?
Oh, it was a really good game.
That was really good.
That was
Best game
like
of all
wow. Yo, when's Time Splitters 2 Steam release? Honestly, I'd play that right
I
now.
don't think I've ever
I got a
played
GameCube.
Time Splitters like campaign. I've only played the multiplayer.
There's a campaign.
The
Right.
campaign is the best
Yo, I
part.
love the campaign, dude. The campaign was lit.
I
Like actually,
only played it multiplayer. I think we only rented it, and so then we would just play like 4-player or 3-player at our house. And I remember like sometimes we would do maps where we would just set it to like crossbows only, and you could run around with the crossbows and stick them in the torches to light the tips on fire, to light people on fire. So they basically were turning into like one-shot kills.
there's
And then
like
you
1,000 characters in that game, isn't there?
it was
Dude, if
a
you
crazy
didn't-
amount, but a lot of them were
That,
just
that game had the
reskins.
real Monkey Gang.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Flint. Well, I got you. You know what the best part about playing as the monkey was? You get up to a turret and you can't see. You can't see where you're shooting. You have no visual eyesight of what you are shooting at. Because you're too
It's
small.
Time Splitters 2, since none of us answered your question. It was amazing co-op shooter for
For
the
FPS.
Nintendo GameCube.
It was
FPS.
like it was fire before fire was around.
Invented.
It was when the
It
lightning
was
bolt-
fire before PickAxe Pete.
Listen,
right?
I was gonna
I mean,
say
they could just go back in time, right?
I was gonna say that was way better than what I was gonna say, because I was gonna say it was the fire when the first lightning bolt hit the earth and caveman was like, "Ooh, lit." You know what I mean? Like that's how fire it was.
That was a deep lit joke right there.
Thank you.
That was a good one. That was deep in the lore, dude. I like that one.
Clip that.
Nah, dude.
Stream clip that. No.
Clip that shit. No, yeah, clip that instead of what happened before we started the episode.
No, clip that too, especially that. Because
Yeah.
Flint, you want to finish these out here?
Yeah. I'll pull up the community challenge here.
We're on Defender to corpses now.
And we're on Fettered to Corpse. Oh, I see. All right, here we go. Fettered to Corpse. Started video games when I was 3 years old. Mom was deployed in Kuwait. I lived with my grandmother and my uncle. I was introduced to the N64 by my uncle, and he let me play Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64 on his extra
Classic.
great games.
classic. He ended up
I
giving
could never
me
beat
the
the
N64.
fucking spider in Ocarina at a time.
The first
I
boss.
could never get
That's
past
literally
that.
like the first boss.
The first boss.
That's as far as I got. All right.
I don't know what to tell you, Zelda.
Yeah, what do you want me to say? That's as far as I got.
I guess Hyrule is fucked.
That's it. You lose, dude.
Hold on,
He
I
ended
feel
up
like we need to dissect this. The game gives you a slingshot, and it's got a big red eye.
When you're a little fucking kid, I don't know, dude. I'm running from the fucking spider like my name's Brian, trying to fucking kill it.
So you
Fair enough.
should have just put it in your mouth, dude. Stop.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Flint style
Ryan
just ate
doesn't
it.
kill
He
it.
just straight up ate
Ryan
the
just
bitch.
runs screaming.
ate the bitch, dude.
I got you, Deku Tree. Ah.
You're mine now. You're done now.
Done.
Anyway, Fetter continues. He ended up giving the N64 to my brother and I 2 years later as a gift, and we were so stoked. From there, we went on from game to game, console to console. But when I truly became a gamer in my eyes, this has to be my first online multiplayer experience with COD 4. There was
Ooh.
nothing like it. Being
Yeah.
13 years old, playing competitive games with people across the country and across the world, it was an incredible experience.
Talking shit.
As time went on, I grew older and I got better and more competitive, doing local
Don't know
tournaments,
about
even
that.
traveling
No.
across country to compete. The Call of Duty franchise is near and dear to my heart, although I no longer play the games with the exception of Modern Warfare, MWR.
Yep.
Maybe Modern Warfare. I always think of them as the reason I got serious with gaming and why I love and cherish video games to this day.
So, isn't it pretty crazy that the first day, the time that he realized he was a gamer, was also the same day he realized that everyone sleeps with his mom, apparently, on the internet.
Oh yeah, dude. No, he was one of the OG Xbox Live games.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Don't fuck with them.
With that little
At
shit
that age,
mic.
he might have
I
been the
know.
one fucking everybody else's mom.
That's true. Maybe he was that guy.
Probably.
Damn, dude.
Dude. I remember when they let have banners for the first time in a COD game, and everyone made dicks. And that was the
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah,
like,
it was immediately
pinnacle
what
of
they
humor.
did. It was immediately what they did.
It was like, and then like people would like criticize the other one. Like I remember I made one, and it was like I used like cherries and like widen the stem, and everyone was like, "Using a fucking cherry, you got a little needle dick. Fuck you. You're bad at the game."
It's like, what?
Xbox Live was wild, man.
No, it really was. It really was. It was the wild, wild west.
Never gonna have anything like that again.
Gamers will
Holy
never
shit.
experience. You little jerks.
Little needle dick. Fuck you.
Get
Oh,
fucked. You suck.
man, I'm just out here.
You
trying
probably
to
play Shotos. You're a Shoto clone.
Yeah, you probably play Kuma only.
Oh my god, don't
Fuck
even.
you. All right. I always fuck up Kyle's name, so I'm just gonna call him Kyle. Or I'm gonna skip fucking Ren to Victory by accident. I first knew I was gamer when I went over to my cousin's house and I was about 6 or 7 playing Super Smash Bros. Melee for the first time. I loved it so much I went out and bought it the next day, aka begged my mom to buy it for me. Can relate. Me and my brother spent the next few weeks playing it all day, every day. We would create fake backstories and why our 2 characters were fighting the other 2 computers. The game opened my doors as a future 27-year-old gamer who still games almost daily today.
Yeah, I think me and my brother used to do that too. Little adventures and backstories, and we go to different levels in Smash Brothers and stuff. I remember that.
Hell yeah. It was an event when you unlocked a new character.
Oh yeah, dude, it was a big deal.
Learn about Mewtwo for the first time. You're like, wait, what?
I think when I first picked up Smash Brothers, there is few moments in my life that brought me as much excitement as when, like, I'm trying to think of the first special hero you get in Smash.
Jigglypuff.
Is it
Yeah,
Jigglypuff?
it's Jiggly,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I remember when, like, that happened, and we didn't know that would happen.
Yeah.
Like, we'd heard friends talking about Super Smash Brothers, and we were like, I don't know what this is.
A new challenger, dude.
And then we got the first, like, a new challenger approaches. And we thought there was maybe only 1 or 2. I mean, there was like 4, I think, on the first game. What was it? Like,
Yeah, there's
was
4.
Jigglypuff in the first game?
Yeah, Jigglypuff, Captain Falcon, Luigi, and Ness were the 4
Right,
secret
yeah. So, like, I think I remember Luigi when he showed up. Like, that one blew my mind. Like, I didn't know what was happening. And, like, he just showed up, and I didn't know how I unlocked it. I didn't use the internet to, like, look up codes really much back then. Or once in a while.
Yeah. Luigi was all the targets. He broke all the targets. I remember.
Or maybe it wasn't Luigi. I think I had to work for him. I can't remember.
Probably Ness.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, dude. We all work for Luigi in the end.
Yeah. Waluigi, though.
Why Luigi? Why?
Do we want to finish all of them, today, or do we want to just, like, pick 1 or 2 more?
We can keep going.
All right.
We can go. We only got like 6
Yeah,
left, dude.
no.
And then, yeah, we're getting there, dude.
Finish her
All
off.
right, Kyle. Kyle says, I grew up on video games. I had the NES and remember playing Paperboy on it. I also had the Sega Genesis and played Alter Beast. I never considered myself a gamer, though, because I would
Alter
always spend all
Beast.
day outside. Yeah. And once the sun went down, I would play 1 or 2 hours before bed. When I was around 12, with our patented VD212 mode, or sorry,
12.
SQA12 mode,
12. 12 by the
went
way.
on a trip to New York and found a game store in a mall, and we stopped at it. It had a PlayStation, but didn't really have a game I liked for it. I randomly saw Final Fantasy VII, and I read the back and I thought, this seems interesting. And it could keep me busy for a while. I don't really remember much after that besides playing the game. I had to be forced to go outside and came back ASAP. That was the time I realized how much fun games could be. I still have a copy of Final Fantasy VII because it has single-handedly changed me into who I am now. Not only did it teach me how fun games could be, but it also teach me to question things around me. This is why Final Fantasy VII will always be my favorite game.
That was a big game when it came out. I remember that. It was a
Can I be
really
real
big
with you
deal.
guys?
Yeah.
Never played a Final Fantasy game.
You don't
I
have to.
haven't
You're not
either.
missing much. I just remember everyone was talking about it.
Get the fuck out.
You don't have to do that. Don't listen to him. Don't listen.
I mean, I could leave right now, but I'm just saying, like, I still haven't played a Final Fantasy game.
Exactly.
I never will play the Final
Fix that.
Fantasy game.
Don't fix
You know what?
that.
I'll forgive
Well,
you for not playing a Final Fantasy game if you decide to pick up Persona 5, because I think it just does the JRPG genre wonders.
Don't do that either.
I've
Don't
never
listen to-
played a
don't listen to
Persona
this
game
man.
either.
Don't listen to
I
this
didn't
man.
say you had to in the past. I'm
Don't
saying
listen to it.
you could
Don't
rectify
listen to
all
this
of
man.
your turn-based JRPG problems.
Don't
by
listen to
picking
this man.
up Persona 5.
All my energy is
Don't
going
listen.
into Fight of Gods. That's all my
Dude, Fight of God's main. Fight of God's main.
I'm learning how to do the tech as Santa Claus, you know?
Disappointed, Flint. Disappointed.
Hell yeah. I'm doing some fucking Santa Claus tech.
Selfies, dude.
Catch me in the lab. Yeah, catch me in the lab doing selfies on cooldown. All right. Croshan comes in and says, my parents I have a picture of me watching my dad play Top Gun on the NES before I can even walk. Did he
Oh,
land the
shit.
plane?
No one can land the plane, dude.
No one can land the plane. But
There
I
was
didn't
another
actually
one called like
play.
Super Strike Eagle. I think that was on the Super Nintendo too. Could never.
Probably couldn't get past the spider in that one either, eh?
Nice
Did someone
comeback.
sound clip that? Someone sound clip that. That was the funniest thing.
That's going in.
Well,
All
I
right.
think Flint's editing this week, so
Oh, you're fucked, Bryce. I'm getting all the clips. I'm getting them all.
Flint or Matt, because I'm on a plane on Monday.
Hell yeah. After watching my dad play Star Fox I asked him for the controller. After crashing poor Fox McCloud in the Coranian, sorry, I can never say this right. Cornarian countryside a few times.
Yep.
I got used to the controls and started honing my skills. Within a week, I was getting farther in the game than my dad was, and the first one to figure out how to beat Andros. The thrill of success stuck with me, and ever since, gaming has been part of my life.
I'll never
That's
forget. Yeah, Star Fox was for N64 was my brother's favorite game, like ever. Probably still is.
Yeah,
I
I can see
remember watching him unlock the other paths for the first time. Because like he had played the game and beaten the game for years, going just like the bottom route. That's all he knew. And then one day he unlocked the top route. And he didn't know how he did it. And his like, there's more to this game. I remember like seeing him, just his eyes. They got like Flint's eyes when a mecha dragon attacked in his D&D game. They're like the size of the dinner plates, man. And so that was a really cool other like I was probably his gaming moment when he knew, because he wasn't as into Street Fighter as I was. So
Probably always bugging him. Get on the sticks.
that's
right
basically
now.
what it was. It was like, please put in 2 quarters.
Please.
Please. I don't want to fight the computer. It's too hard. I like fighting you. It's fun.
I
Can't get past. No one can get past Guile. He's
Sonic Boom's too
Sonic
too
Boom
powerful,
too
dude.
good, man. America.
Was it the boom or the flash kick that got you?
Flash kick because you can't jump in at him.
True.
Could trade projectiles all day, but you jump at him and he's like, can't
He's got the
dash. What am I
reels.
supposed to do?
Cry. That's all.
Eh,
All right, Zaylatos coming in hot. For me, I thought gamer was when I was kicking the crap out of Mike Tyson's Punch Out, beating
nice.
Contra with 1 life. Ooh,
Yep.
Fuck, man. Respect if you beat Contra with 1 life. God damn. It wasn't until I was introduced to Warcraft, Orcs and Humans that I knew I was a gamer. After that, all I thought about was gaming. Whether it was old school online playing Diablo, or the Super Nintendo playing Chrono Trigger, or the New Age playing Smite, Rust, or Doom, gaming will always be my favorite way to escape for a few hours. Hell yeah, man. It only gets better as a gamer. Always new games. Till Honey Pop came out, then we went back a few steps, but we're
You went back a
Moving.
few steps.
Flint went forward a
not
few
went
steps.
back.
Flint went through puberty at that time.
Flint knew he was truly a gamer.
Yeah, that's when he realized.
That's my real gaming moment. You know, I was trying to give you guys a wholesome one, but it's when I was playing Honey Bop, and they made me
Flint,
pay
Flint,
$6.99 for the next porn puzzle.
Which would you
DLC.
prefer? More joking about the needle in the ass or more jokes about Honey Pop?
Needle in the ass, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're all going to joke about Honey Pop. Perfect.
Yes, that's a respected response. You know what? I would take like 6 more ass needles if it erased the memory of Honey Pop from my mind. Free.
If it got
No
if it
joke.
cleaned up your Steam queue, so you didn't have to see
Yeah.
little anime puzzles everywhere.
Oh, dude, if
Little
it cleaned
waifu
up my
puzzles.
Steam queue, I'd take like fucking 12 needles. I just go to the dock, bend over, and be like, "Have at it, bud. Fucking go excavating. Let's go.
When
Get
you
it
said
done."
Doc, my
Hey, I
brain
think I've
went,
seen
like,
that
here,
video.
and I was like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, when you said Doc, I didn't think doctor. I thought like boat dock, and I'm like, okay, a bunch of sailors. If that's really what you want to eliminate the memory of Honey
But-
Pop.
Yeah, I want a bunch of sailors sticking shit in my ass. If it got rid of Honey Pop, I don't know. Anyway,
Bryce,
Moving
maybe you
on.
should edit this week so you could use that clip.
Yeah.
maybe. All right, Nescatino says, I think Destiny got me into being a gamer. I got Xbox Live a little late to get caught up with Modern Warfare 2, and I kind of only played casual sports games for a few years until I got into Destiny. I remember I picked it up with that year's copy of NHL 14. Excellent year. But anyways, that was the first time I ever started browsing for forums and Reddits and looking up stuff for a particular game. Right on, man. Probably not too happy with Destiny 2.
I wouldn't be happy with the way Destiny 1 turned out.
10-year plan, man.
They had a 10-year
lot of
plan.
people still loved it though. I remember my old job. Like I
Yeah,
showed up to
same.
work and they were just like,
Yeah.
like everybody raided the regional manager, the fucking project managers, the
Yep.
accountant. Like they all were in a raid party together.
Yeah, I
They all
remember
showed
that
up to
too.
work just dead fucking tired.
Yeah.
And then
all
that was in
raiding,
the
yeah.
Edmonton office, and I was only there temporarily as I was heading out to the Calgary office to work. But
Like, wait, no, guys. I'm gonna hang out here.
please, gamers at work.
Go to the
my
Calgary
soul
office.
needs
Let's talk
this.
about the Calgary Flames playoff chances. They don't have any.
Yeah. Literally 0. Next topic.
Next, good topic, boys. You can try that out for a couple hours. All right,
Anything
last
times
one.
0.
Actually, on the
Steve
Calgary
Boy.
Flames, can I just say, even as not a hockey fan, it's kind of fun to be in a Canadian city that has a team in the playoffs. Just
Yeah.
fucking like what was it? 3 years ago they made it to the playoffs. I think they made it to round 2, and just like
Probably.
Flames shit everywhere. Like every vehicle has the fucking flags in it.
Pretty
People are
intoxicating. It is pretty
fucking-
intoxicating.
like
I
you know, the
remember-
energy is fun. I gotta
Yeah,
say.
I remember in 11 when the Canucks made it to Boston. They lost and then had riots and shit. But
I
it
remember
was
that.
It was pretty
because
cool to be a Canucks fan. Yeah.
There was a guy that I could hear as I was playing World of Warcraft, just like screaming at his TV every game. Just yes, no, fuck,
Yeah.
and it's like
Timeline checks out. Timeline checks out.
If we talk about hockey, Winnipeg Jets just made it to the conference finals.
all right, enough hockey, enough hockey.
Hey.
Winnipeg!
Let's go.
How the Bruins doing, Bryce?
Fuck off.
They're not. They're not doing it.
They're getting their golf swing ready. All right, Steve Boy coming in hot says, "Shit, hope I can get this in before you guys get to community challenge." Guess
Nope,
what you did?
But no. Okay. Yeah.
I've always kind of been a gamer since I was a kid. I had a Super Nintendo that I played a lot when I was about 4 or 5. I got a Game Boy around the same time. Between playing Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and Pokemon Blue, I learned how to read from video games. I started off just running around not knowing what I was doing to actually learning how to read and completing those games by the time I was 6. I can't even begin to describe the feeling of excitement when I caught my first Pokemon, and it was just a Rattata. Yo, youngster Joey out here. Real Steve Boy hours.
I do like
I
my
love it.
shorts.
They're comfy and easy to wear. Now, as a kid with an N64, GameCube, PS2, and Game Boy, while I would consider myself a kind of a gamer, I still spent just as much time playing outside with friends. It wasn't until I started working full-time and got my first Xbox 360 when I really became a hardcore gamer.
Yeah.
I would go to work, get home, and relax by playing video games, eat, play more games, go to sleep, repeat. Fast
Yep.
forward to now, and aside from a few other interests like my music, movie, and shows with my girlfriend, I really have no interest in much else but gaming. It's gotten to the point where I have way too many video games to play, but nowhere near enough time for them all. So even though
Yep.
I've grown up with video games and have always been a gamer, I would consider myself a hardcore gamer as of about 10 years ago.
That a guy.
There you go.
Isn't it that the? I was just thinking about something when he was talking about the amount of hours he put in. Pretty sure everybody's story about the time they played the most games is when they were in first year college or university.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or like
gaming,
or like,
like
right out of
or like-
high school, kind of. Because like I had
shit.
I had a job where I was working maybe 15 hours a week as a lifeguard, so I was making $20 an hour. So I was making good money, but I had a lot of free time. You know?
It's just-
It was enough to pay for rent and a really shitty car. That's about it.
that's all
I
you
missed
need.
the
man.
whole college experience straight out of high school.
I mean, I started university at 23, but
Yeah, I know what you mean, Brian. I do get what you mean, but mine was like, I don't know. I'll just be a lazy lifeguard bum for a couple years. I turned out okay.
Yeah.
It was nice.
This fucking brain needs oxygen over there, or what, Flint?
I've been
Yeah.
yawning half this time. I'm getting kind of tired too.
Motherfucker,
Let's go, boys.
it's midnight. All right, I'm out here reading Steve Boy's Community Challenge, bring a tear to my eye, Bible thump. Good job, youngster Joe. I'm glad you stuck with the gaming. That's all the Community Challenge.
That's it.
We
Well,
did
I
it.
think
We
it's
got it.
late for you boys, so let's This was one I was kind of thinking of. I've kind of wanted to do since we started SQA, and it's kind of a topic that's always kind of stuck interesting to me for next week.
I thought
But-
we'd ask them like, what are their thoughts on microtransactions? It just makes
Uh,
more sense. What
I
do you
think if
guys?
we were
What's
to
a
do
good
that, we would have
DLC?
asked that for last week's.
What's a good
then,
DLC? What's a good DLC
No,
for
no,
you?
no, no. This is a topic
There's
I'm
no
actually
reason
kind
to
of curious
continue
about.
fucking microtransactions into the.
Talk about fucking.
All right,
Well-
we could do this potentially for next week's topic and next week's community challenge, but this is one that's kind of always interested me. I think I tried to bring up the topic a few times in VD2 and nobody ever did it, so I'll just fucking force the topic. But I'm kind
Go
of
on,
curious
boss.
to like how everybody else's like in your life, how do the people in your life treat your gaming? Like how does your girlfriends or wives react, your parents, your coworkers? Like, do they treat you like the weird one out, or do you somehow have that blissful life where you can, all your coworkers are gamers with you? I don't know, in a professional career and being the only person I feel like in the building that plays video games, it's kind of always been an interesting question to me.
That's too real.
Yeah, well, fuck you. I've already.
Well,
Brian,
fuck
your
you.
setup's cracking me up all over again.
Yeah, I know, man.
You like talking, you like peek out.
I can already see when I'm out of sight next week, unable to record, Flint's gonna
Tim
make
the
my
Tool.
fucking meme picture just like home
Wilson,
improvement.
right? It was Wilson, right? That was his name.
It's already. I can already see it. It's Wilson.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
damn.
do the-
Now that we've
Well-
added video, the fact that I'm talking into a box is like so apparent now. But I've been doing this for like 50 some odd episodes of VD2. Or when did I make this box? Maybe around like episode 25 of Defend Middle Lane. And actually, I wasn't even looking at the monitor. Most of the time, I was just staring straight forward.
Well,
You're going to make me invest in all kinds of money to make this room like completely echo proof, so I don't need this, don't you? Just so the Wilson meme can
Nah,
die.
you keep talking to the box, man. I'm
You do what you gotta do.
dude. Yeah, dude, you gotta do, man.
it's about respect, really. I mean, I guess that concludes this episode of Side Quest Arcade. Bow, 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 bow. Bow. Hey, did you like this episode? You know what you should do? You should give us a follow on websites like Twitter. What's my Twitter? It's of course Matt YT. You can follow me there. Get some updates. See what I'm posting. You can also follow Flint, aka Micro Manatee. He'll hit you up with some funny memes about me, apparently, most of the time. You can, of
I
course.
mean, the last two have been about you, dude.
I
Don't-
know.
don't worry
I'm
about it.
touched. I'm touched. You, of course, you could follow Brian at SQA Happiness. Just SQA Happiness.
SQA underscore. He
Oh,
is also
shit.
particular about
You're
his
right. It's SQA underscore. He's very particular
My
about
old
that.
Twitter had an underscore the whole time.
I know,
Well,
but
It was
now, you weren't
DML
particular about it then.
_VD2.
Now you are.
yeah, now you're very particular about that.
Matt's particular about forgetting it.
I never really gave a
Well,
shit.
hey.
It's only because
It took him about 15 episodes to remember it last.
no, it took about 15 episodes before he said, "All right, dude, my name has an underscore in it." So because of that, make sure you follow underscore Silent Reveries. That's Bryce. He's very particular about that underscore, as you can tell. Proof is in the pudding, my guy. And of course, we have the official SoundCloud for Side Quest Arcade. If you're listening to the Defend Middle Lane SoundCloud, that's going away in a couple episodes. Not the episodes, not the backlog. You can still listen to your favorite episodes if you wanted to, but the actual Side Quest Arcade uploads will eventually be going to their, like they are now on their own SoundCloud. And if you want to listen to maybe like episode 5 or episode 6, it's going to be on that one. So you guys have a limited amount of time to make your switch. Might as well follow now if you're interested. And of course, iTunes, I think we're in the pre-approved stage.
We got approved this morning. I
Perfect,
submitted
so-
to iTunes, Podbean,
Oh.
TuneIn, and Google Play yesterday.
Perfect.
I think
So
all 4 of them are set to go. I think that's every single one we did on VD2. So
right.
by the time this episode comes out, your old podcast apps that you use to listen to Defend Middle Lane, you should be able to use for
Should be there.
SideQuest Arcade. If it's still not there, I'd say by episode 3, maybe give it some time for shit to catch up. Make sure to let us know, and we'll submit it.
Tweet
to
at
those.
us.
I know Stitcher is kind of weird. Like I have to partner and like do kind of ads and weird shit like that. And I know that Spotify will only do with like contracted people. You have to be like really big and famous, and nobody
Yeah,
like
you gotta-
us can't get onto those.
You got to
So-
get paid to be on Spotify.
Yeah. Which actually we had people like offering us services to get onto Spotify with Defend Middle Lane, and it's like, oh, what do you need? Oh yeah, just pay me like $1,000 to manage all of your shit. I'm like, piss off. We got tons
Away
of
with
those
you.
ads.
Get
Be gone.
that.
Thought.
I
Give-
get
give me
600
your-
listens, and you want me to pay you like $1,000 a month to manage my account? Like, piss off.
Thought.
But they should be up on those. Don't forget, it's really, really big for us right now that it's up on iTunes, to please go to iTunes and give us a rating. Preferably 5 stars. We will love you long time if you give us 5 stars, but, give us an honest rating. But, 5 is an honest rating, right? But go ahead, give us a rating on SoundCloud, or on iTunes. It could really, really help us out. Ratings and comments on the iTunes really help with our promotion. If you have any suggestions for guests we want for general gaming or kind of really any kind of YouTuber, let us know as well, and we might reach out to them.
Yeah. Where else can you contact us? Well, the Discord, which is popping with flavor. Come check out the Discord. It's pretty great. It's a good time. The link will be, of course, in this video on the YouTube, and of course the Twitter account. Again, SideQuest Arcade Twitter. Go there. Add it. There's a link to the Discord. Everyone's having a good time. Bryce, hey, thanks for showing up, man.
It's time to
coming
go
out.
chew on my fucking pillow. I'm
Yeah, I
done.
can see it. You're pillow chewing in this camera.
Struggling.
Wilson, hey,
Just
good
work
job
tomorrow.
painting that fence today.
Fucking
Thanks for coming out
Wilson.
and painting that fence.
Got him.
Got him.
Got
Did
him good.
Wilson ever have a light sky blue fence? Was it always white? Should I change the box?
I don't know. It's
You gotta make it like a picket fence now.
Yeah,
picket
put some
fence.
on the outside there.
You could probably get some sort of graph to put over your like the effect of the camera. Like an image.
I got ideas.
Yeah, excellent. And of course, Flint, thank you so much, man. Thanks for coming out. That was a good time.
Anytime, my guy.
Bot Lord.
And I have again,
Fucking
I was
hate
Matt.
right out here.
I was hosting this train wreck of a show. Thank you and good night. Get out. Go away. Why are you still here?
Take your quarters off
Ah.
the table.
Get your quarters off. You lost.
Yeah.
You lost.
Fuck
Thanks
off
for the
with
money.
the quarters.
Get the fuck out of here.
your quarter. Fuck out of here.
Have a good night.
All right,
Have
I'm
a good
making
night.
Stop.
Bye bye. Love you.